They threw the shade, try to block the sun. They say it's lies, we've just begun. They spin their lies like a web of silk. We cut through fraud sharper than steel. They call it passive, but the scheme ain't clean. Dreams sold on the back of a fake machine. Ash plays the king in a cardboard crown. We're here to flip his kingdom upside down. Victory with us, she screams all day, but say is a name, making fraud decay. No more victims, no more schemes. We break the cycle, shatter his dreams. We break the cycle, shatter his dreams. He builds his castles out of air and smoke. Promises riches, leaves the people broke. Pyramid walls, they crumble fast. When truth steps in and shadows don't last. We see the scripts, we know the play. Same old hustle, just a different day. But we're the voice, the ones who fight. Lighten up the dark with the people's might. Victory with us, she screams all day. With the sayers of nay, making fraud decay. No more victims, no more schemes. We break the cycle, shatter his dreams. Victory with us, she screams all day. With the sayers of nay, making fraud decay. No more victims, no more schemes. We break the cycle, shatter his dreams. We break the cycle, shatter his dreams.
We are the naysayers, the sayers of nay. On this FriYAY, we rise, we don't play. No room for your schemes, no tricks, no traps. We see through your glitter, your promises collapse. Oh, the towers you build, oh, the lies you distill. We won't drink from your gilded well. We say nay to the false gold you display. We are the sayers of nay, and your schemes will decay. Yes, your schemes will decay. You climb to the top on the backs of the weak, but with a voice they didn't know they'd seek. Your pyramids crumble, your empire shakes. Our voices are thunder, your foundation breaks. Nay, nay, we say nay. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now on this FriYAY, we are the light, we'll lead the way. We say nay, to the false gold you display. We are the sayers of nay, and your schemes will decay. Yes, your schemes will decay. Yes, your schemes will decay. still you'll catch your time. They say us don't play, we speak what's true. On passive scheme ain't meant for you. Ash got plans to steal your soul. We won't lead you down that hole. We rock, you know we won't stay by. Won't steal your cash, your time ain't mine. Ain't mine. They say us rise, we shine so bright. Truth cut deep in darkest night. Hey, Ash and his gang wanna take what's yours. Pyramid built with hidden doors. Claims of wealth, but it's just a lie. We naysayers, we don't buy. Ash and his gang wanna take what's yours. Pyramid built with hidden doors. Claims of wealth, but it's just a lie. We naysayers, we don't buy. We won't be silent, gonna raise our voice. Speaking facts, ain't no choice. Break the chains of a dirty scheme. Naysayers live in the dream. Promises of gold, but all you get is smoke. Ash's empire, just a joke. Naysayers stand up, keep it real. We cut through lies like sharpened steel. We rock, you know we won't stay by. Won't steal your cash, your time ain't mine. Ain't mine. They say us rise, we shine so bright. Truth cut deep in darkest night. Hey,
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, amazing day. Happy FriYAY to my sayers of nay. It has been a crazy past few days here, but I am here with you, and I am happy to be celebrating this FriYAY today. I hope that everyone is ready to just get right into it. We have our usual show today, so I am pumped for that. I do apologize. I wanted to get a video or live stream out about BG Wealth. Was trying to get it out for yesterday, but it took me a little bit longer because, like I said, I've had a crazy week. So I think I'm going to hopefully premiere it tomorrow instead. And yeah, that's what's up. Thank you, Joe. Yes. Thank you so much. She is. Thanks for asking. Hey. Automated peptide billionaire. Jeez, could you imagine? And Violet is here. Good to see you. So let's get into it. I guess we'll start off with everybody's favorite, the Victory with Ash meme review. Yeah, let's get into the memes. Keep thinking we're going to run out, but they surprise me every single week. They really do. They surprise me every week. I go, oh my God. Maybe we'll never run out. They'll probably still do memes for the next 30 years. Start off simple. We have success with Ash Mufara. And it's just a pretty regular image of him. We got some hearts and roses on there. It looks like the fridge magnets. That's what this reminds me of. Like, it's like a drawing that a kid makes on the fridge and then says, "Look, Dad." And they go, "Oh, that's really sweet. Thanks, sweetheart," Straits of Hormuz will never stop the memes. That's right. Here we have on passive, the next phase begins. Victory with Ash. So I'm very, very confused. I'm very confused by this. I think it's supposed to be like on passive, the next phase begins, and then obviously it becomes Victory with Ash. But it looks like you're promoting both as you're stating that the next phase has begun, which that's mixed messages to me. But why does Ash look so angry here? And why is he wearing a suit by the pool? You know what? Maybe that's why. That's why he is so angry. Ash is mad in this image right now because he's like, I'm out here in the hot ass weather. It's 110 degrees, and I'm wearing this big black suit instead of a bathing suit. What the hell? Wrong suit. Wrong suit for the pool. BG Wealth, we are coming for you. Yes, we are. Victory is also coming for you, so be careful. This is like sand through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives as we just sit there waiting for Ash. Very soap opera-y. You know, it looks very Valentine's Day-y. Maybe it was made originally for Valentine's Day, but for some reason, people were sharing it out like all week long. You know what happens? Like one of them shares an image on Facebook and it gets a whole bunch of likes, right? Because they only have on passive followers following them. That's it. There's nobody else. Everyone else has left their life. That's unfortunately what happens here. When you join one of these things, you know, they do the us versus them mentality. There's very much a culture of your friends and family either sign up with you or else you ditch them and never talk to them again. Or they get so fed up of you talking about only this thing, which in this case, it's Ash Mufara and this Victory with Ash future business, you know? And then they don't want to hang out with you anymore because every time they hang out with you, you're like, you should click this link and join this thing. And they're like, dude, I've told you for 8 years now that this is a scam. Imagine saying that. I mean, it's sad, but there are thousands of people that have to say that to their family members every single day, where they're like, I've been telling you for a decade that this is a scam. I don't know why you're still promoting it. You know, here we are. Just imagine having to say that, though. It's just like such a crazy thought. But it's okay. I guess you could just come and have a glass of wine with Ash and forget all of your problems. It's just, where did his feet go? I guess it's a chest or a table in front there. I don't know what's going on. It looks like they just kind of stuck some stuff at the bottom of the image. Gross. Yeah, not the date that Violet wants to be on. This person, if Violet walked into the restaurant and saw Ash Mufara sitting there, you know, you'd just be like, well, he's getting stood up. Just escape to the bathroom right away. You know, the blind date is over before it began. The only reason why it was scheduled in the first place was because it was blind. Also, what whitening does he use for his teeth? I need to know so that I never go and use it, because you know, it looks like those awful veneers that all of the people in Hollywood had in the early 2000s, and they would smile and you'd be like blinded. You'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Everyone had such white teeth. It was crazy. Victory with Ash. And they keep making versions of this. I feel like we've seen this one before. You know, the peace sign. I like how Ash is doing 2 peace signs, you know. And who are all the people cheering and what are they cheering for? Are they racing? It's like Ash versus, like, I don't know, his son when he's an adult versus Al. Who will win? I wonder. Probably not Ash, as, you know, if history is any indication of the future, then he's coming in last place. Victory with Ash. Big news coming by the Star Boys. And look at that, Ash has paparazzi. Oh, that must be why he's been hiding since October 21st. You know, he doesn't want to make an appearance because he's scared of the paparazzi. I mean, look what they did to Britney Spears. Can't really blame him for that, I guess. At least, though, if he shaves his head, they'll just give him Elvis hair. So there's that. But, like, what paparazzi? It's just such a funny thought to think that they see Ash as a famous figure. And I know that that might seem really weird to you because you are probably not in India. The thing is, out there, Ash actually is kind of a famous figure in certain communities. So, although we see this image and we're like, yeah, okay, because paparazzi would follow Ash around in future, like they don't follow Bill Gates wasn't followed around by paparazzi, you know what I mean? Like that's just not really what the culture is anyway. But they really do see him as someone famous out there, so maybe out there the paparazzi would follow him. I'm just saying, you know, the Star Boys, they're not in the USA. So to them, he is famous. You know, he owns one of the metro stations, even though it's still called On Passive instead of Victory with Ash. I don't think you could change the name either. I think you would probably have to pay a lot of money for that if you could. I don't think he has any more money. I'm pretty sure the SEC took it all. But, you know, he was all in the mall on the Burj Khalifa. They told people to make flyers and hand them out in their neighborhoods. So that was happening a lot in like 2020, 2021. That was going on like constantly. And back then they had way more people than they do like today, for example, right? That was kind of the peak of On Passive was COVID. And for like the 2 years after it, that's when it was really bumping. And everyone was joining still. And everyone was very excited. There hadn't been that many letdowns other than like the launch date moving and products not coming out, which that seems like very big letdowns. But in hindsight, right? You know what I mean? It got a lot worse after that. So they were like really going strong at that time. And they actually did have people in neighborhoods going out and putting flyers up like Ash was a missing child, but promoting it, you know? They seem like old school things to us, but in other areas, they are still doing a lot of email marketing. I know we made fun of them for bringing that up, but there was a reason for that, you know? I'm just saying. No one was following Epstein's plane at the time. I mean, or if they would follow it, they'd have to be very careful of the images that they took, I'm sure. Yeah, you know, that's a horrifying thought. I think you mean a mob would be following him with pitchforks and torches. That would make a lot more sense. That would make a lot more sense because I'm sure that there are people who have their lives destroyed because of this man. I mean, we know there are. We've read comments of that. We've seen that. That's real. So imagine this man destroyed your life, you know, and then you could get a hold of him. What would you do? Don't play that game. That's not a fun game. But it would be more like the townsfolk coming with their pitchforks and being like, give me my money, you asshole. You promised me AI and automation. You know, instead of like, let me take your picture. Oh my God, can I have your autograph? Like it's just such a funny thought because like even in India, like, okay, in those areas, they have Bollywood, which is kind of like their Hollywood. And like none of them are people like Ash Mufara. Like it's very much similar to Hollywood in the sense that, well, they probably do more politicians than we do. They kind of see their politicians as a lot more Hollywood. Well, I guess now we're kind of there, aren't we? But yeah, it's pretty much the same. Where it's like the TV stars, the soap opera stars, very much so over there. And then like singers and like, you know, celebrity status people. So I'm like, even there, technically, I don't think it would be Ash Mufara being followed by paparazzi. Like they wouldn't care about him either. Data centers and 3D printers. Yeah, where's our water filtration systems, you asshole? Yeah, that one still bothers me to this day. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, there are villages without water right now because of Ash Mufara. Not really because of him, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes I do a joke like that in these streams, and then I'll get like a comment from someone, and they'll be like, actually, Queen, technically, he didn't take away the water from anyone. And I'm like, dude, listen, I'm trying to do a meme review, and I'm trying to just be funny and then move on to the next thing, okay? It's not that deep. Here we have Ash Mufara in a big red cloak. I don't know what kind of jacket this is. I sat here for a while, like, what would you call this? It's not really like a petticoat. It's not like anything I've ever seen in Britain. I'm not really sure what style this is. It seems to have too many buttons. I'm not sure how to do it up. Maybe that's why he just went with it open. I don't know. Not really sure what he's carrying. Surely it's not the business plan. And I really like the bottom of this image. It looks like he's in some kind of museum, by the way. Although I'm sure they're like, this is what his house would look like. Yeah, he might be in a mansion. He's not in a mansion. He's in a very small house, by the way. Don't you worry. But yeah, no, you would imagine that the CEO of an MLM would be in a big giant mansion. I mean, they usually are. But the bottom of the image is my favorite because once again, like, where are his feet? Where do his feet keep going? It looks like he's disappearing into the abyss. Is that why we haven't seen him? Did he disappear into the floor and never to be seen again? Oh my God, he's underneath somebody's floorboards. He needs to talk to my husband about how you get out of the floorboards. Then maybe he could make an appearance again. But I'm like, what happened here? Because at first I was like, oh, it's like part of the phone. But then I was like, no, it creeps up into the image. Like we got some blurring. He's merging with the floor. Concierge casual. There we go. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, that describes it. I was like, I don't even know what to call this. It looks like he's trying to be some kind of soldier, but it's not really working. You know what I mean? He looks like an usher. He does. He is going to bring me to my seat. I'm at the theater. That's what's happening here. Right? He sells his feet pics, so he hides them on the free pics. Aha! There's a feet only fan somewhere. I bet you he has hairy feet. I'm just throwing that out there. Just, you're welcome. It is Eid. So they're doing the Eid Makaraba. I can't say the word properly. I keep trying to pronounce it, and it doesn't come out right. With the way that I speak and my speech impediment, sometimes there's a word here and there where I'm like, yeah, no matter how many times I try to say that, I am not going to say it the way that it's supposed to sound. And I tried. But the funniest thing about this is it says we are so in it to win it underneath in English. And I think in the past, we have done ourselves a disservice where we have just assumed, and this is my fault mainly, that the letters on the top of the English letters is a translation, usually into Bengali, into Hindi, into, you know, and we just kind of assume that. I majorly am the one that puts that out there, I'm sure. Like, I'm the one that reads these. So it's not as much my audience's fault. But we've often just kind of chalked it up to, oh, it must also be saying we are so in it to win it. And no, lately I have been translating them because I have the alphabet now for these languages. And I have figured out how to get emojis. I did that a while ago on my laptop because I don't have a phone, if you didn't know. And so I have been like translating what they're saying. And sometimes they don't say what the English is saying at all. They say something completely different. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense. So we'll be having some fun with that, I'm sure, in future. But this is just basically Happy Eid. And then it says, we are so in it to win it. You know, And that's what it says. And then it has Ash here with a moon, which honestly, this is probably one of the better images. The only thing, again, though, is I have no clue who this man is. Is it the man on the moon? I don't know. It seems to be. What is he selling? Clouds? These pretty lights? You wouldn't know. Looking at this image, you're just kind of like, I guess, happy Eid, sir. And you would probably assume that whoever posted it is this person if you had no clue who on Passive Victory with Ash Mufara was, right? Like, you'd just be like, oh, this guy's wishing me a happy Eid. How nice. And then you would move on with your day. So I don't know if they're trying to market with these. Oftentimes they are. And then other times they're not. You know? You just never know. Hello, Visa. Hi, Queen. Good evening. Good evening. I'm from Hyderabad. Awesome. Even now, lakhs of people, lakhs is thousands, right? In India, blindly believe in Ash Mufara. No matter how much you explain, these people don't listen. They still blindly believe that. That is unfortunately because this has merged from being just an MLM scam into an actual cult of personality. Now, MLMs are already cults. They're commercial cults because they are businesses that take it way further than how a business is supposed to be. And they take over your personal lives, tell you who to be friends with, split up families, and etc. So they're already a cult on their own. And then when you have someone like Ash Mufara step into a position of power in something like that, you get a disaster, which is what we got here, unfortunately. Because of the culture and then the way hustle culture is, it all kinds of merged together. And now they're basically in what I call the cult of Ash. And I've just kind of been calling it that a lot lately. That way, if they rebrand to 20 different businesses in the future, I was going to say visions in the future, but I don't think that works. Businesses in the future, it doesn't matter, right? We're all talking about the people that are following Mr. Ash Mufara. And so he is seen as a guru, as the Mahanta, as the man that's going to come and basically give them their salvation just while they're still alive here on the earth. And this is why, no matter how much you explain, people don't listen. It's because it's gone way further than it should have, and they've been completely brainwashed. It's really, really hard, you know? You got to just be patient with people. And yeah, we do a lot of streams here on this channel about how to get people out of cults. So check out my other content. I have a lot of information on that. And then you just got to hope for the best. We still have to try. Some people will listen, hopefully. I always tell people, I know oftentimes it seems like you're having a conversation and they are not listening. And they're shutting you down at every single corner. You know, I know it feels like that often. But so many times when people have left any type of cult, they revert back to that one person that never gave up on them. That kept on trying. And they talk about how it planted the seed of doubt. And how, you know, as time wore on, those words seep in more and more and more. So you're planting seeds, even if it feels like you're not. And eventually something in the cult will happen where that person will say, oh, I'm not really sure about this. And then that's when they go and start wondering if they should start watering those seeds. And that's how they can break out of the cognitive dissonance that the cult puts them in. It's kind of the best way to do it. And it's kind of the only way to do it. Because as we know, if you try to force people to leave, they'll rebel. So you have to be kind of careful of that as well. Constant walking that line here. We are so. We are so was mentioned, so I am here. We are here. Hello, sweet. I'm basically a software engineer. No matter how much I try to explain, many people still blindly trust Ash Mufar and refuse to question it. I suggest keeping it a bit more respectful so your point lands better. Here's a short English version. He didn't even bother to wish people for Ramadan, yet many still blindly follow him. You accidentally left in some of the prompt. That's okay. No, he also didn't wish anyone Happy Halloween, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, anything like that. Anything like that. He hasn't been seen since the October 21st, you know? And don't underestimate humans' natural curiosity. We all look at what we're told not to look at eventually. Exactly. And then I tell people, do not let them isolate. Keep that constant line of communication. You know, I tell people, listen, if it starts to get toxic for you, though, it's okay to cut it off. Obviously, protect your peace. But do try to be that open line of communication. Because once they're isolated, then that's it. And the biggest reason why people don't leave things like this and why people don't leave abusive relationships is because they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anyone to go to. Because while being in these things, those relationships fell apart, or, you know, the people joined with them, so then they're a part of it now, or etc. And people don't understand that we need a community people can go to after they leave. That is not culty and doesn't expect anything of you. And you don't have to do anything other than like and subscribe and maybe comment sometimes. You know? And don't shame and curate hate towards people in cults. You know who you are. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, no. Anyone is susceptible to a cult. I know it's a really, really scary thought. And people are constantly like, I'm too smart. Or I would never fall for that. But let me assure you, nobody is too smart for anything. Even cult experts can fall for cults. You know? I've seen some cult experts support MAGA. Yeah. And then turn around and call it a cult. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just saying, there is no shield. There is no shield. Everyone has something that can be used to manipulate them. I know that might suck to hear, but everybody has a weakness. Everybody has human emotions. Everybody wants to belong and feel safe and be loved. That's all very human. And that's what the cults prey on. They prey on very human emotions. And this cult very heavily preyed on areas where spirituality and religion was already promoting having a guru, looking up to one person for all of your guidance, worship culture, faith manipulation. So unfortunately, a lot of that bled into it very quickly. And then it just becomes one big giant mess. It's like Utah with MLMs, but the Indian version. Like, seriously, that's what it's like. This is like the Indian version of that, really. Of MLMs and Mormonism in Utah. It's unfortunately, there's a culture that feeds into it. And right now, the economy even feeds into it. Everyone wants a side hustle. Everyone needs more than one way to make money just to survive. You know, all of that feeds into it. So just keep trying. You know, just keep on trying, and hopefully people will see the light. A lot of cults on here, though. Here we have victory. Ash. Big news coming. And then we have him, and I don't know what's going on here. It looks like the life is being sucked out of him. Maybe that's why he hasn't made an appearance. They're sucking the life out of him here. He's like all skinny and stuff. Like, what's going on? He almost looks sickly. Ash Mufar after he's done Ramadan. So, I don't know what's behind him. I think it's supposed to be a data center. It looks like it's supposed to be a data center. I'm wondering if we're going to bring those back. When are we going to bring the data centers back? That was back for like 2 days, I felt like. And then it disappeared again. And then for some reason, there's like a microphone that says news here on the right. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess it is big news coming. It would have been better if he was holding the microphone. You know, I don't know how they're going to pick up his sound from over there. But careful, it'll suck the life out of you. We've been venting a whole lot about this today. Here we have Ivana. Ivana, leave this scam. That's not actually their name, although that would be the coolest name ever. Hashtag victory with Ash. We are moving forward, even though everything is silent. We are driving the final race of our lives. Oh my God. It is sucking the life out of them. The final race. Don't make this your last lap, please. And they're like, what is this image? It took that old image of Ash and just stuck his head on there again. We're back to that. Or maybe it's an AI image. I don't know. I don't know. But it looks like it's raining there. That's just not a great day. Such a big umbrella in that scorching. I don't know, I'm kind of like, is the umbrella for rain? Like, I'm not really sure what the weather is here. Just a little confused. But vroom vroom. That's the vehicle Ash is driving. Except it's all banged up. And somebody put a nail in one of the wheels. Ivana, leave this scam. That's right. Victory with Ash. The our favorite Facebook page. Decided to do this update. It was very important. We had to at everyone. Again. Victory is coming. With Ash. You know, just in case you were confused about who this was for. Who you were doing this with. Just thought that they would add that. Then they added everyone on their whole list. That's how I got it. I was like, thank you so much. We've been waiting for victory to come this whole time. And then, of course, Chris McNair probably also got added. So he came on to say victory was absent. Victory without cash. And I like that one. I think we should call it that from now on. Instead of victory with Ash, we'll call it victory without cash. That's what's going on. I thought that was cute, so I had to share it. Then they decided to do another post yesterday. Pick up the tools of your mind and start building something that truly excites you. Pick up the tools of your mind. What is that? The tools of your mind. I'm a little confused. What are my mind tools? Like my neurons? How do I pick them up? It's more like this. Feel like you're actually picking your mind apart when you're in something like this. But yeah, pick up the tools of your mind. Sure, whatever. Jeez. And then on passive updates had to come in and give us updates. I mean, that's what they do. And they say, dashboard is ready. And anytime you could see your previous funds. New fund also mentioned, along with your invitation and efforts to make tour team. And we're going on a tour. Revenue chart will be available at your profile. So I guess that's good news, guys. The dashboard is ready on the OES. It's the exact same. Nothing has changed. But you get to see your previous funds, which should be 10 O-Coin. Yay! Yay! I didn't realize the funds disappeared. They didn't for me, but here we are. Revenue chart. Can't wait. And then they said, this is our digital era. On Passive is ready to release its biggest owl-based dashboard ever. Now it's working well. Check your dashboard daily because some new features has been added. Your previous data will be there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and checked. There's no new updates in there. So they must be talking about just the website update over and over and over again. I'm like, oh, there's another new update? Nah. Being in this thing is like being on a roller coaster. You're constantly hyped up, then let down, then hyped up and let down. And it's on purpose. They spelled error wrong. Probably. Spell everything wrong here. Even global. Here we have Victory with Ash Mufara, and his only friends. We have Runnin' Jane up there, Chris, Julie, Susie, Jean, and then Mr. Gouda threw himself up there. Made me laugh a little bit. I was like, I don't know. Is Mr. Gouda as well known as the rest of these O-founders where he's from? Maybe he is. I don't know. But I just think it's funny because he's like, I deserve to be up there with these people. Victory with Ash. Kaya. This was getting shared around this week as well, which I don't understand what we're doing. Why are we doing this? Sorry to bring down the mood for a second, but Marty hasn't been on Passive Victory with Ash since like September. A while ago. Like not this past September, like the one before it. And then he passed away. So I don't know like what we're doing. What are we doing here? Why are we including Marty on these? Why does Chris looks like he's 98 years old? What happened to Red? I don't know. But it's just so surreal almost when they add Marty to it and talk about global updates. I don't think Marty's going to be giving you any of those. I'm sorry. Yeah, stop going there. Is he leading with his Ouija board? Maybe. Must be. And then, see, that told you, it sucks the life out of them. That must be how they're getting the life sucked out of them. And then it merges them with the damn floor. So see why you shouldn't join this? See what happens? It ages you 50 years. I mean, look at Pam Parrott. Or Pat Parrott, whatever her name is. Look at her. I mean, it turned her into the Queen of England. But then it also gave her an oxygen tank. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's high price to be the queen, I guess. I don't know what this image is and why they did this. I saw this and I was kind of like, I don't know what this is supposed to say. You know what I mean? It's the queen. No, but okay, sure, yeah. Rip to the queen. I hope Pat stays with us for a long time, though. And then here we have Gersminder Dylan. No words. The On-Passive logo just kind of on the computer screen there, one dime. And he's just staring deep into our soul. And I don't know why he looks so damn mad here. Like, this is all I see. All right, this is all I see when I look at him. Look at this. It's all I see. See, it's the same image. Exact same image. All right, he's mad. He's mad. It'll be 7.5 more years until Ash can run a business. And then we have Chris Johnson. I guess he got all the life that was sucked out of everyone else. Because it looks like he's regressed here. They sucked the life out of him and everyone, and then they fed it back into him and Ash's souls or something. I don't know, got a lot of voodoo shit going on over here. VWA Victory with Ash, Captain Chris Johnson, his cowboy hat and all. Empowering the future with artificial intelligence. If there was ever anyone with artificial intelligence, it's Chris Johnson. And smart technology leadership. Smart technology leadership. I'm not really sure what that means, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Ash hasn't been seen for 5 months. Haven't the founders wondered what he is doing? There is a split group right now. It's quite divided. Some of them have given up, of course, and are kind of like, I think he's left us behind and he's forgotten about us and moved on, and we're all screwed, and they're kind of freaking out. Then there's another group who is like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but like, I don't want to leave in case it does happen, right? And then there's a full-on other group that is like, these guys, led by these people, that are like, the fact that he's been so silent and hasn't been around just means he's getting so much work done. And I'm like, you're delusional. Delusional. So yeah, go to victorywithash.com. Speaking of Chris Johnson, we need to take a moment. Because, Chris has always been religious. He's always done the prayer thing. But the last couple weeks, he's really amped it up. Really amped it up. And I don't know if that's because he has his grandchild was just born. And maybe he's, I don't know, rethinking his life. I don't know what's happening. But it seems like he's just sharing a lot of stuff about the Bible. And he seems to be sharing Phil Robertson all the time, constantly. The guy from Duck Dynasty, because that's someone to look up to. And that's pretty much what he's doing. And I mean, it's an excessive amount. It doesn't show the reels that he's sharing. This is just his own uploads. But as you can see, he's just basically like posting up like the Bible over and over and over again. It's like every day he chooses a page of the Bible to post up, or 4 of them. And then he's also posting up like Phil. And it was interesting because the one that he posted up here at Phil was on teething. So I just found that interesting. You're in a scam and you're really religious, and then you like promote this. Interesting. So, just a lot of that going on. Pretty much right now, Chris is just sharing the weather and Jesus. And speaking of religion, I just want to show you that Jesus is not the God in On Passive. The God in On Passive is actually Lord Krishna. Probably Lord Krishna, or one of the many other Hindu lords that it could be. All right. And it's not only Hare Krishna that worships Lord Krishna, although ISKCON is very, very much alive here. ISKCON is the Hare Krishna cult. So we've been over here speaking out about this cult for quite a few years now, and it started off with me covering a cult called Ekankar, which is very heavily based on these types of religions. And it led me to this one. But part of that was also because there's a crossover between On Passive and ISKCON, obviously. But you should also be aware that that's also the cult that Foodie Beauty was in. So just keep it in mind. Some people join cults and then they leave cults. And I think that when they leave cults, they should maybe be supported for leaving. I'm just going to throw that out there. But the God being worshipped within On Passive is not the God that Chris and Phil are worshiping. It would be more like this God. And therefore, I just think that maybe Chris should lay off on all of the faith manipulation. You know? Yes, Eck. Eck. And the reason why I brought this up is to show you what happens when you have an overlap of religion with a cult of personality that involves an MLM company. You get posts like this. I'm going to read this to you. And at the end of this post, and while I'm reading the post and at the end, I want you to just think about and then let me know, is this person talking about their God? Or is this person talking about Ash Mufara? See how hard it is to tell the difference. They say, I will also become a Jojini one day while waiting for you. How long will you make me wait? My patience is answering. I want to leave everything and go out to find you. What to say from the heart? Just understand that everything is incomplete without you. Lest it happen, I really be a Jogini. In the hope of meeting you, this heart yearns every moment. When will you come? Hashtag waiting. Hashtag Jojini. Hashtag for you. Hashtag victory with Ash. Hashtag non-followers, viewers, followers, viral followers. You know, who's she talking to? Who's she waiting for? A husband? A god? Ash? Maybe he's all of the above. Maybe. I don't know. But when I can't tell, right? When I can't tell you, that's as much of a problem as if I just said she's talking to Ash Mufara here. Or she's talking to a god here. You're on my channel, so you're probably not into cults. But do you get what I'm saying? That's problematic. You know, it's the same language being used, and that is worrisome. Maybe she's waiting for the naysayers. Maybe. She's waiting for us the whole time. It's us she's waiting for. I'm out here like, this is problematic. And then she's like talking to us. Imagine how funny that would be, though. That would be great. I'll come save you. Just tell me how. Then we have this guy. He loves posting. Victory with Ash. And he posts up Megan Mitchell. We will be watching her video because it is the video of the week this week. You'll see what I mean. And because of things like this. And it has a quote here from her where she says, Transitions are almost always signs of growth, but they can bring feelings of loss. To get somewhere new, we may have to leave somewhere else behind. Fred Rogers. Oh, no, wait, it's not a Megan quote. Came from Fred Rogers. And then, of course, he posted an image of himself, right? And it says, Reflections from Tawhidul Islam. An invitation to embrace change. Join Islam today. Discovering new perspectives in Victory with Ash. Join us. Everything's so green here in St. Patty's Day life. I love it. Everything green and gold. It's not for St. Patty's Day, by the way. It's because that's the color now of their brand and the website. So don't get excited. And then he posted this up, and this one's a bit confusing to me. All right. We have OES on passive with an inquisitive emoji. I don't know what else to call it. It's like a question mark with the hand under it, where it looks like he's like, it's on its chin and it's thinking, you know. And then we have victory with Ash. And then there's a scared face. And I'm just like, what are you trying to say here? All right, that on passive makes you think, but victory with Ash is scary. It's horrifying. Because that's what I think when I see this. I don't think these are the vibes you're going for. Because I don't see this and then go, oh my god, I should join victory with Ash so that I can be scared all the time and feel like that emoji right there. That'll be fun. That's not what's happening here. You know? Did someone mention my ex-wife? Maybe. Yeah, she left your cult. You should leave it too, by the way. But yeah, he does look very young. He does. He's like the youngest person in this whole scam. All right? Look at his mustache hasn't even grown in all the way. We'll talk about that. Hold that thought. Is he in the 8th grade? Maybe. Maybe. Then he did this to Sherry. Look at, he farted. Poor Sherry. She's left in the shrapnel. I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're trying to do with this. But it says Victory Ash. Not even Victory with Ash. Just Victory Ash. And it looks like the world blew up, but somehow these two flew away together. Hopefully to have a long, prosperous life together. True love. So happy together. You know, I've already done that meme here a couple times. But Sherry's looking good in her printed coat. Victory with Ash. Thank you. Ash Mufara. Lamilla Lentia. And I'm really sorry. I'm sure this lady's very, very nice, but this is a horrifying image. All right, this is my sleep paralysis demon staring at us right now. Like, what is going on here? Who is this poor woman? Why did you do that to her? And then we have Mob Boss Ash standing there. Got a different red coat on. He's got smoke at his feet. And they're disappearing into the floor after all. You know? No, not Sherry! It is frightening. I know, I'm scared. Maybe now I do want to escape into the floor with Ash. Get away from whatever that is. Just saying. He looks like Prince Charming reimagined. Maybe he can save us from her. I don't know. But the greatest thing about this image is that this isn't the only one of them. Watch this. So I saw this image and I was like, ah! And then I was like, oh, okay, well, typical on passive. Victory with Ash bullshit. Then I saw this one of Mr. Gouda made. And I was like, wait, here it is again. And I don't know who stole it from who. It kind of looks like, you know, it might be a template and then they both just stuck themselves on it. You know, they make these templates and share them around in their Telegram and WhatsApps and on Facebook. So there could be some of that going on, which then made me wonder after Mr. Gouda also posted this, after she posted hers, by the way, so he was the next one. Then there was this. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? First of all, in order to cover up everyone, you literally, like, covered up Ash's face. He's kind of the front and center man here. It is victory with Ash, not victory with you, bitch. What are you doing? Literally puts words all over the screen. It's ridiculous. Off with his head. That's right. I was just kind of like, whoa, we got a lot going on here. I was like, how come she didn't get someone sent her the templates? All right, we can't have her doing this anymore. That's ridiculous. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Then we have this one. Victory with Ash. Network operator to AI powerhouse. AI victory. It looks a little stretched. I don't know why they keep doing that. Stop stretching things. But at least the Elvis hair is back. That made me kind of happy. I haven't seen it in a little bit. So the Elvis hair is back. It's good to see you, Elvis. Uh-huh. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop. At least Al looks happy. No clue who the rest of the people are. This is the most true picture that I've ever seen in my life. Now, this actually does describe what's going on here. Just nothingness. With an explosion, lightning, and a plane trying to get away. You know? This is what actually happened to Unpassive. Finally. Maybe they're embracing the truth. Who knows? I also like that it was a paint cloud. That's kind of cool. That means it was quite the big explosion, though, so no one down there is okay. I almost didn't see that plane. I know, it's hard to see. I'm telling you, it's like just there. You know? That's us on the plane. We're getting the fuck out of here because this Unpassive blows up. And that is it for this week's episode of Victory with Ash Meme Review. But I'm not done because I have one more thing that I want to show you from their promotional materials, if you will. Remember that young, kind sir, you know, that likes green and gold a lot and did that to Sherry? We're going to pick on him for a second because there was just a really weird video that he posted where I'm starting to think that this guy is like AI. I'm like, does he not exist as an actual person? Because why wouldn't you just, to me, it's a lot easier for me to turn on my camera and then record myself. Believe it or not, it actually takes me more work when I do voiceover videos than it does when I'm just on the camera. People don't seem to realize that. But like if you're doing like VTubers, us VTubers, so you'd call us, and we have our little cartoons, that stuff takes so long in comparison to just being on camera and then just speaking. Okay? So if you have the ability to make videos and you wanted to wish everyone like a happy Eid and say, yay, victory with Ash, to me it would make a lot more sense if you just turned on your phone on camera and then did a video where you just said the words and then you just uploaded that. Bing, bang, boom, you're done. Maybe you want to edit it a little bit. You know, you want to cut off the start where you press the button or something, and you want to cut off the end of it where you like turn it off or whatever. Cool. That takes 2 seconds to edit and then upload, right? I don't understand why I, as a video creator, would want to create an AI version of myself, right? Then record audio and then try to sync the audio to an AI version of me talking. Or input the audio into an AI and have it spit out an image of me. At that point, I have done 3 extra steps. Because instead of just pressing record and talking and doing a quick edit, I now have to sit down, I have to choose the image, I have to write out a script, I have to double check everything to make sure it all lines up and all of that stuff, and then I have to edit it and get it ready and produce it and then upload it. I've never understood. To me, the AI adds extra steps. Extra steps. So when I saw this video, I was like, does this guy not exist?
Mubarak, wishing you all victory and success.
Holy fuck, he's Harry Potter. Maybe he doesn't, he vanished. He vanished. All right, but watch this again. Watch this again. Because this is not a video recording in front of a green screen. All right? Yeah, he's Victory Potter. There we go. Seriously. Okay, he doesn't like move properly. Like I'm starting to think that this might just be an AI boy. It's like Ash Mufara. You took a picture of him and said, make me super duper young and add glasses. And they're like creating videos and hype and stuff. Like, it's weird. Just watch again.
Eid Mubarak. Wishing you all victory and success.
But then he vanishes, which that's crazy, right? So it's like, it's obvious that this is AI. And you can also tell because what is he doing with his hand?
Victory and success.
He's just doing poses. That's how you can tell if it's AI versus a human being. AIs don't actually know how humans move. Like us humans, we have a flow to our movements that AI cannot replicate properly, especially in a longer form video. And AI just kind of, especially like the picture, like the image to video AIs, they're just guessing what your body would be doing as you were saying specific words. So for victory, it's like, oh, it would probably hold its coat near his chest. And then he says with Ash, and maybe he's Ash. So then he holds his coat with the other hand. But it's like, those aren't natural movements if you were saying those words on camera. You know what I mean? Like, no one poses this many times in a video like this.
Eid Mubarak. Wishing you all victory and success.
Pose. Sound like fucking Tyra Banks, but seriously, it's a lot. And then, of course, the vanishing at the end. So, I don't know if he's a real dude, guys. I don't know. That's kind of up in the air to me right now. So let me know your thoughts about that. Tell me if you think he's a real dude in the comments down below. You know? I thought it would be fun if today we did something really, really fun. See what I did there? Nothing. It was awful. He's a genie. That's right. That's right. That's too much work for a 5-second video. It is, though. It really is. Like, I would rather just come on and say what I have to say, you know, than do all that. But I thought it would be fun if today, since Bill Must hasn't uploaded anything in quite a while, I'm starting to worry. Bill, are you okay? I thought that we would take a little look. Take a little look back, if you will, at what I would like to call the evolution of the dancing diaper baby videos. From the inception of Bill Must making music until the dancing diaper babies that we know and love today. Here it is.
best. We will always be the best in everything that we do. We will always be the best. We will always be the best. We will always be the best in everything that we do. We will always be the best. We will always be the best. We will always be the best in everything that we do. We will always be the best. We will always be the best. We will always be the best in everything that we do. We will always be the best. Oh, 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 we are here. Oh, 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 with the change of the time.
We've got the brains, we've got the passion, bringing in the best in every field. It's a new sensation, world-class professors, Albert Einstein mind. Joining our team, it's a whole new paradigm. We're merging minds, breaking all the boundaries. Together we'll soar, reaching new heights in history. With knowledge as our guide, we'll change the world's perception. Onboarded recently, we're a force of transformation. We've got the brains, we've got the passion, bringing in the best in every field. It's a new sensation, world-class professors, Albert Einstein mind. Joining our team, it's a whole new paradigm. We're merging minds, breaking all the boundaries. Together we'll soar, reaching new heights in history. With knowledge as our guide, we'll change the world's perception. Onboarded recently, we're a force of transformation. We've got the brains, we've got the passion, bringing in the best in every field. It's a new sensation, world-class professors, Albert Einstein mind. Joining our team, it's a whole new paradigm. We're merging minds, breaking all the boundaries. Together we'll soar, reaching new heights in history. With knowledge as our guide, we'll change the world's perception. Onboarded recently, we're a force of transformation.
The future is bright. Game changer, it's on the side. Science revolution taking flight. Every step forward, it feels just right. Changing the game, breaking the mold. On passive, we're on there's a brand new wave, gonna change it all. I'm passive, the name you gotta know. I can verify, it's time to let it show. Big news, oh yeah, it's here. Old Domain's got the power, have no fear. Register your domains straight from the source. The power of unpassive, we're changing the course. Oh, hey, hey, listen up, dog. There's a brand new wave, gonna change it all. Unpassive, the name you gotta know. I can verify, it's time to let it show. Big news, oh yeah, it's here. Oh, the man's got the power, have no fear. Register your domain straight from the source. The power of unpassive, we're changing the course. There's a brand new way, gonna change it all. Unpassive, the name you gotta know. I can verify, it's time to let it show. Big news, oh yeah, it's here. Oh, the man's got the power, have no fear. Register your domain straight from the source. With the power of unpassive, we're changing the course. In the world of possibilities, where dreams come alive, there's a revolution brewing, ready to take the dive. Unpassive the big O, breaking through the mold. A future so bright, it's a story to be told. The big O is coming, it's a tidal wave of power, shaking up the industry with every passing hour. Unlocking new potential, reaching for the stars. Unpassive is the future, taking us so far. Listen to these words from Bill Must. He knows what's coming and it's not far. Unpassive the big O, breaking through the mold. A future so bright, it's a story to be told. Big O is coming, it's a tidal wave of power, shaking up the industry with every passing hour. Unlocking new potential, reaching for the stars. Unpassive is the future, taking us so far. Let the big O ignite your dreams. Together we'll achieve the extraordinary it seems. The game changer taking the lead. Unpassive, fulfilling our every need.
Unfilling our every need. Yeah, I said unfilling. So that was the evolution of the dancing diaper baby. And technically, Bill Must and his songs, and technically AI and their ability to create songs, right? We got to kind of watch that happen in real time with Bill Must and his amazing AI video creation skills. So I found that fascinating, and I hope that you did too. Thought that that would be fun. Big updates. There won't be a big update for 7.5 years. I don't know what Walla Mama is, but I mean, if people want to start calling me Walla Mama, I'd be okay with it. Yes. I don't know what it is, but I'm down. So yeah, that was interesting. I thought that that would be fun, you know, because maybe we will never see Bill Must again. Just like maybe we'll never ever see Ash Mufara again. Speaking of Ash Mufara, I think it is time to talk about who was kissing Ash. Pucker up! Woo woo! That's right. That's right. Well, you can't lie to me for 9 years. Kisses Ash. This week, we are going to be picking on the voice of OBH. I feel like we picked on him before, either with a WTF or a Kisses Ash. But this week was out of control. I'm telling you. All right, he was just out of control. That's right. Get the peaches out. Get the peaches out. Joe, thank you for being a member for 59 months, Joe. Next month is going to be 60 months. We might have to do something special for that. Ash kissing time. So, Voice of OBH on Facebook. He has 22,000 people following. And he's following 5 of them. So, that's wonderful. And he made quite an interesting video in February that I missed that I would like to go over. And he says, big thinker and dreamer. Envision possibilities beyond today and inspire others to do the same. Hashtag victory with Ash. Hashtag Ash Mufara. Hashtag Mosey dualism. Whatever that is. Hashtag voice of OBH. And the video that he posted is what I describe as a creepy video of like Ash Mufara.
Big thinkers and dreamers, Loras. Look beyond today and envision what is possible. Inspire others to do the same.
What is this? Like, look at how this one moves.
Let's be big thinkers and dreamers, Loras. Look beyond today and envision what is possible. Inspire others to do the same.
Did he quote the Lorax? What was that? What was that? Anyway, this is obviously not Ash speaking. And I don't understand because there are a lot of videos of Ash speaking and they used to post a lot of videos of him speaking. So do we need AI videos? I mean, I know there hasn't been a new video since October, but I just don't think that we need the AI videos. Maybe they also missed the blue vase. And they were like, I need to get a picture of him with the blue vase because I miss seeing it in the background. But I just, I found it rather creepy. Rather creepy, if you ask me. But that's not all. No. They don't do just one creepy thing to end up here usually. He also posted this up, Victory with Ash. I feel like we've seen this one before. Him and his double peace signs. Also, I don't think this jacket fits him. I was always told to tell if a jacket fits, you put it on and then you lift your arms up. And if it rides up like that, then it doesn't fit you enough. So maybe that was just me though. I don't know. Just looks funny. Then he posted up this, which I find a little bit weird. This is like cosplay. Now I'm here in Canada and our ex-prime minister got canceled because he liked to play dress up like this. So maybe they shouldn't be dressing Ash Mufara up like this because he doesn't usually, he's not a Sikh. He doesn't wear a turban. He never wears a turban. So I feel like doing up images of him in a turban is kind of making him cosplay. It's weird. But that wasn't the only one. We also had to do this one because of Eid Mubarak. Mubarak. See, I can't say it. But there's this one, which is just interesting. Again, I don't know why Ash is cosplaying in all these different religions, but here we are. And then there's this one. Is he carrying, I think he's carrying a carpet there. It's his magic carpet. He's Aladdin. I don't know what's going on, but there was also this one. So I thought I would include that. And then, of course, they did this. This one's hilarious to me because, again, it's like he's leaning up against some tree that's all lit up. But what is he carrying? It's the weirdest carpet I've ever seen. And the way he's carrying it just looks so weird. And it says, celebrate this Eid with love, faith, and gratitude. It might be his prayer rug. I just feel like if you were carrying a rug, it wouldn't be that square and that, it's so stiff. What's going on? What else is he doing with the rug? So, beautiful scene here. Then we have this. I don't know who this guy is. Is it supposed to be Ash or Is this the voice of OBH? And he's getting a trophy from Ash. I don't know. It looks like he's at a sports event, though, instead. So, and like, why is everyone else in uniform, even the audience? Yet he's in a suit. They really like to wear suits at the wrong places, like by the pool, while they're playing sports. You know, it's not comfy. Put on some shorts and a t-shirt, for God's sake. No clue who this is. Then we have this one. Become noticeably happier and calmer as daily stretch and self-doubt lose their grip. And I just feel like that's just not cool. Like, we're literally doing full-on emotional manipulation using Ash now.
Stress is gone. I finally found my peace.
Whoa! Yeah, you want to find your P-E-E-E-P-E. You got to find your P-E piece. You know? Yeah, now he's Ash Potter. It's just like, what is this?
Stress is gone. I finally found my peace.
He's so stoned he can't even say it. Like, it's just like, what? Okay. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. So I just find it weird, though, that they're saying that if you join this thing, then it's going to take away your daily stress, your self-doubt, you know? Make you happy. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, you're just joining a platform that has nothing in it to sit around and wait. I don't know about you, but I find waiting to be rather stressful, especially when I don't know what I'm waiting for, when it's going to happen. You know, like, what is going on? This Batman is Robin, you all. This is ridiculous. Found my peace. Can't even say the word. It's like someone's holding a gun to his back and forcing him to do this. But yeah, I don't know what this was about, but don't do that. Don't do the "we will cure your depression" thing. You don't even sell supplements. I don't want to have to deal with that over here. Come on, man. So that was that video. And voice of OBS or OBH. It should be OBS. It should be OBS, but it's OBH. Sorry. This is the person who I think is puckering up this week and victory with Ash. So pucker up, because that is the most Ash kissing that I have seen in a while, and your entire page is full of it. There's even more. You post like 10 to 20 times a day. It's getting ridiculous. All right, so pucker up. And actually go and find your pee out of here. You know, I feel like you wouldn't be able to find your peace here. I'm just saying. So I think now would be a great time for us to really start asking ourselves, WTF, if you haven't already been asking yourself it already.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
WTF. WTF. So, this week's WTF is a little bit different than past weeks. We are going to call it Sherry's Ray. What are you talking about, Queen? What did Sherry do? Sherry, she's just such a sweet lady, and you're right. We love Sherry. All right, we don't pick on Sherry. We watch her because she puts us in a good mood compared to the rest of these people. And we protect her. We protect her with our lives. All right, she's our case cooking. All right, she's the one that we protect. She is the one who does no wrong. She's just a sweet lady. Poor thing, barely even knows what this is. She's just here for the ride. She's not hurting anyone. She's not motivating people to join. Trust me, she's really only talking to the people that are already in it. So she's harmless. Very sweet lady. Just wants to make people happy. And Sherry did a video. Sherry always does a video. She does a video almost every single day. Sherry did a video, and she did what she usually does in her videos, as you guys know. She usually ends her videos in a very, very similar way. And this is what Sherry said at the end of this video. I've got just over a minute of it, and don't worry, I saved the whole outro for you because I know people love Sherry and her outros. Usually that's why we watch her here, because they're so sweet and you can't listen to it and then be in a bad mood. But yeah, just listen to what she says here.
So don't ask me. I don't know anything. Just keep your eyes open in your back office. I do believe, this is my thoughts, March Madness in a good way. That's just my thoughts, okay, folks? It didn't come from anybody else. Just me personally. I feel that March is going to be a good month. So that's all I have for you, folks. If you, I want you to know you're important here and you matter. So also put that thought in your head too as well. That will help you through the day. And if I'm always here if you want to chat. And so that's all I have for you, folks. Don't forget to live more, worry less, dream bigger, give more, and like Miriam says, laugh more. And I put that in there because our world right now is a mess, and we all need to laugh a little more to help us. Because if you don't have laughter in your life, it kind of also coincides with negative thoughts, and then that just disrupts your health. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe to my station. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye for now. Don't forget to pass this on because I got to save somebody's life.
Oh, my.
Just maybe yours or somebody you know.
Bye.
Bye-bye for now. God bless. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, Sherry. Such a sunshine in the dark. So you heard what she said. Pretty standard, right? That's pretty much what she says at the end of all of her videos. Dream big because real life stinks, pretty much. So Sherry said that, you know, like she usually does. She ends it pretty much the same way every time. And that was fine and dandy. But what was weird is people started sharing out this. I don't really understand what's going on here. All right, but this is the update. This is what they're holding on to. This is what they have to be excited about. And this is why Ash not giving them anything and having them all going stir crazy, waiting around, and not showing up is dangerous. And it's almost like he wants them to get to this dangerous way of thinking where they're like so desperate because he knows that like he could show up and tell them that he's giving them crap. And they'll just be so happy that he's giving them anything, right? It's kind of sick. But this is where we're at now. My Love on Passive, a group, shared this out. You know, someone in the group shared this with a big arrow pointing. And it says 7:39. Where Sherry says, it's a transcript of her video, the month of March is going to be good. So this is what I want to tell you. I want you to know that you are important here and you matter. For some reason, this statement, which Sherry at the very start said, I don't know anything. This is only coming from me. This is just my feeling about the month. I think it's going to be a big month. That could have meant anything. It could have just meant for her personally. You know, maybe Sherry has a whole bunch of plans this month that are really great that she's excited about. But they're taking it to mean that March is going to be like the month that this thing launches finally. Big things are coming. It's March Madness, everyone. Although this time they're mad like, you know, the fucking Mad Hatter. So it made me go WTF to see that. March Madness. That's what's going on here right now, and that's what I need to use to describe what happened here. Because Sherry isn't saying anything about March coming up. She isn't saying that there's going to be a big update. She isn't saying this is the month it's going to launch. She isn't saying anything special. She says that at the start of every single month. And we're almost at the end of it. So I don't know why everyone on like the fucking 18th of March went, oh my God, let's start March Madness. This is going to be a really big month. Because like, why? Because you got like 10 days to do something? It's like there is no deadlines at the end of this. You know, the only thing that you have to look forward to is Easter coming up. Nothing will be going on here. I feel a bad moon rising. So yeah, I just, you know, that really made me scratch my head, but it's Sherry's time. Everyone's listening, so I guess Sherry's running the show. Sherry is who you go to get your updates from now, and I guess for that, congratulations, Sherry. You're finally the queen of Von Passive. And that is it. That's all that kind of made me go WTF this week.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
WTF. Yeah, I was like, wow, they're really like holding on to Sherry's words here. That just goes to show you how desperate they are, especially since Chris isn't going live. And as you'll see in a little while, Red's lives are not really that titillating. So, you know, what do they have to be excited about? They need something to pump up the volume here. People are starting to get upset and ask what's going on and going, hey, it's March. This was supposed to start at the beginning of 2026. Ash promised all of them that like it wouldn't be like it is right now. That's what's kind of frustrating about this for me, is because I know that Ash did promise them that. We listened to him at his last meeting that he had in October. He was like, don't worry, it's not going to be like March, April, and nothing's happening. And it's like, I think it is. Here we are. And I highly doubt that in the next 10 days, all of a sudden, things will start popping off. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When I return, we're going to be talking about transitioning. That's right. Megan Mitchell is going to teach us all about transitioning. Then James is asking us what we're waiting for, and I want to turn the question around on him. What the fuck is he waiting for? And then Red Redfern is going to talk to us about mentoring in cults. So don't go anywhere because you don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
This stream is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh yeah, it's growing fast and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about 30 bucks. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Yeah, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Are you tired of getting screwed over by false promises, bad leadership, and tiny results? Introducing Tiny Digger Condoms. Trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. The only protection you need when dealing with inflated egos and underwhelming performance. Whether it's a shady MLM pitch, a fake AI company, or a man who tells you he's the lord of the internet. Don't get played, get protected. Tiny Digger Condoms are on-passive resistant, 100% scam proof. Coated in reality and skepticism for extra protection against cult-like charisma. And hey, if you're gonna get screwed by Ash Mufara's vision, at least make sure you're wearing something that actually works. Tiny Digger Condoms. Trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. For when the product is imaginary, but the disappointment is real. Now available in Founder Frenzy flavor. Tastes like regret and missed refunds. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. Is your leader's birthday coming up? Don't just send a card. Send your soul. Introducing Happy Cult Day, the ultimate birthday experience for narcissistic gurus. Because nothing says divine enlightenment like 8 hours of forced gratitude on Zoom. With Happy Cult Day, you'll get a pre-written poem about how your leader changed your life. Access to a 9-hour tribute webinar you're required to attend. A royalty-free song you'll awkwardly sing with 300 other blinking followers. And a limited edition e-card with their face on a beam of light. Because they're just like Jesus, but better. Add on the birthday worship upgrade to include a tribute video of members crying, children chanting their name, and a slideshow of their humble beginnings. Why celebrate you when you can celebrate him? Again, Happy Cult Day, because in a real cult, it's their birthday every day. Side effects may include financial ruin, loss of autonomy, spontaneous chanting, seal clapping, and sudden belief that Ash Mufara invented the internet. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms and Fantasia Foot Spray. Buy Tiny Digger Diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsors. Now, back to the live stream.
Transitioning. That's right. Transitioning is something that happens in a lot of different ways. And instead of being upset that people are transitioning their gender, something that probably doesn't even affect you at all, have you ever thought about being upset that people are transitioning from one business to another business in order to rip people off of their money, split apart their families, and steal their children? Because maybe you should. I'm just saying. And today, we're going to be listening to Megan talk to us about transitioning. No, not transitioning genders. If you thought that, I don't know why. All right, I don't know why. But transitioning I don't know. I don't know. She called the video Victory with Us Transitions. And let me tell you, was it ever the video of the week? You know, other than apparently what Sherry said.
Good morning, good evening. Megan Mitchell here, and I am back. I've been off for about a week, taking a little bit of a break from making videos.
Okay.
I am inspired by the beautiful weather that we have today. We have had very turbulent up and down weather in everything.
We had a snowstorm this past week, Megan. Have you ever been in one of those?
From 11 degrees up to 77 degrees, and I believe we're going to hit about 85 over the weekend, 85 degrees Fahrenheit here in the Midwest, and we're going through spring, which is kind of related to the topic that I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about transitions. And if any of you are familiar with Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was synonymous with childhood in my generation, and for many people,
Is that why you wore the striped sweater? Yes, we realize that, yes, you're very excited about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I didn't think you would morph into him before our eyes, however. But I can't help but kind of be like, this is slightly juvenile. Like, I wouldn't be able to come on here and use Mr. Rogers and one of his lessons in an example with my audience, because I know my audience is not 12, and they would find that kind of like patronizing. But I feel like it would be patronizing for me to be like, do you guys remember that episode of Mr. Rogers? Yeah, well, where the Tiger family was being real mean to, and you guys would be like, okay, Queen, like we're like 35 years old. Like what? Wait, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like it would just kind of be like, really? Like that's what we're talking about here today? We're bringing up Mr. Rogers. If you've reached a point where you have to reach in and start bringing out the lessons in the shows that you watched as a child, something might be going on. You know, I might start to get a little worried about you. I might wonder why are we regressing back to that? What is happening? Oh my, you know? It's a little scared. Oh Lord, Joe, could you imagine going to Chris? Like, literally, would you go up to him and say hello just to creep him out? I would probably go up and say hello and be like, are you that Chris Johnson guy from On Passive? Just because I'm a huge bitch and I know that it would grow his ego, and then I would be able to laugh at it afterwards because that would be funny to me. So if you do ever run into him, do that for us, will you? Because you know he's going to jump right on and be like, somebody recognized me at the grocery store like they did Ash Mufara. Because that was a really big picture there. Someone saw Ash Mufara at the grocery store. I took that image with him, right? So he would be over the moon. Like over the moon excited. Like don't tell him who you are, obviously. Don't introduce yourself. You don't want him to know that you're there. Right? But be like, oh my God, you're that Chris Johnson guy from On Passive. I know you. Woo! Hey. And then just like walk off. You know, like that's it. That's all you do. Then you just walk off. Right? You literally just walk off and leave him there like, oh my God, that was so cool. That would be the funnest thing to do in the world. Imagine being at the produce section, checking out the melons, and you hear, hey, right? You're like, whoa, what's the... I think that I was having like some kind of stroke. I'd be like, I really have to stop watching this On Passive shit, man. I am hearing Chris Johnson at the grocery store now in the produce section. They're in my head. Hey, Promo, what's your thoughts on GGC so far on what they're doing with the coin? I have literally live stream after live stream after live stream about GGC and Larry Lane, and we will probably hit them up again next week. But yeah, this week was a little crazy, so I couldn't jump on that train this week quite yet. You would have to take a selfie with him. That would be funny. You could do that too, right? And be like, will you pose for a selfie with me right quick? Like, yeah. But then I would be worried he'd be like, oh, send it to me. So then you'd have to like go into one of your fake accounts and be like, hey, because like, you know, unless you don't mind that he knows that it's you. I just feel like if you were like, I'm Joe from that channel that talks about you all the time, he would be like, no, you can't take a picture, right? That might ruin it. So that's why I'm like, maybe just don't let him know who you are. You know, that would be hilarious to me. But okay, wait, what were we doing? Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
You know, not only did he do a little children's show, but he taught about life. He taught about many important aspects of life. And here's a quote from...
Can we just, like, that's all kids shows. Like, they have Miss Rachel. They had that, what was the girl on the couch there? I never watched it. I was a little young for me, but my sister used to watch it. Like, there's different versions of that. Like that's just kid shows. That's what they do, is they teach morals and values, very much like legends, or like the Bible was originally supposed to do. Just a collection of stories that's supposed to teach you basically how to be a good person and life lessons and whatnot, right? That's kind of what kid shows are. I get that Mr. Rogers might bring some nostalgia and whatnot. Like, I agree. I also grew up on Mr. Rogers. And then my daughter grew up with Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which, if you didn't know, that was a continuation of Mr. Rogers, if you weren't aware. So, like, yeah, that's been a big part of my life. But like, I don't know. I guess I've never really been like, oh, he was the guy, because there's literally like thousands of guys. Like, I also grew up with Fred Penner and a whole bunch of other people, like Robert Munch. I'm in Canada. Like, so like I grew up around a lot of people that were kind of doing that in music and on television. So I'm kind of confused about like why we put him on a pedestal, I guess. Is it just because it's Mr. Rogers? Did he do it the best? I don't know.
Fred Rogers. Transitions are almost always signs of growth, but they can bring feelings of loss. To get somewhere new, we may have to leave somewhere else behind.
You like introduce yourself as next. He like goes to look him up. He's like, that's not the guy I met at the grocery store.
And transitions are a passage state, something akin to a doorway. As an artist, I've always been really drawn to doors, to old doors, to different doors from different cultures. Both.
Just say architecture. A lot of artists are into that. Just like I love old buildings and stuff. It just sounds weird to be like, I'm into doors. Like, I don't know if that's what I would say. I don't know, because like, it's like, what do you like about the doors? Like, you're into old-fashioned architecture, right? Like old churches and stuff are absolutely beautiful. I don't want to worship in them, but you know, hearing about how they were built is actually crazy sauce. And there's a lot of beautiful old buildings. That's why I love London so much, because if you're into old architecture, that's the place to go. But like, she's like, I'm really into doors.
Aesthetically and symbolically, I think they represent, you know, transition. They represent a passage.
Maybe she hit into a few many herself, and that's part of the problem here. I don't know.
Transitions are inevitable in all aspects of life. Two types. I want to talk about two separate categories of transitions, life transitions, and these could be anything from growing up from adolescence to adulthood, moving into midlife, from being a young adult, retiring. These involve personal changes.
Like, you didn't have to attack me, Megan. Like, I understand that I just started full menopause and I'm 40 years old this year. But, like, you didn't have to go there. Jeez.
Career shifts, health goals, or retirement, often requiring renewed purpose and reevaluation of priorities. One of the things that I think we need to be more aware of is sometimes we're going through some sort of a transition, and the emotions that it stirs up, we don't always recognize why we're feeling the way we do. Business transitions, these involve moving from one stage to another, such as scaling, restructuring, or exiting. Key areas include role, vision, power, relationships, purpose, and legacy. And right now, we are going into, or we are coming through, a transition in Victory with Ash. This is why I'm talking about this, is because I think it relates to so many aspects of life. All right. Also, I have followed a woman named Cheryl Paul. I believe
Thank you for listing off all of the transitions.
May have changed her last name, I'm not sure. But she writes a blog called Conscious Transitions. And she's a writer, she's a counselor. She talks about all different topics of life that involve transitioning from one thing to another, whether it's relationships.
That's what transitioning is. I love it. Transitioning from one thing to another. I've probably said that before.
A job, whether it's moving, talks about retirement and how it's hard for some people to transition from retirement or from working into retirement because their identity is caught up in their job. Their identity is caught up in what they did as a livelihood versus who they are as a person. You know, we often see that
transitioning to what from what? I've been stuck in neutral for 5 months. I know the feeling, Joe. I know.
Some people go into retirement and they thrive, and other people go into retirement and they get lost and they feel depressed. And she writes about all these different things. So Cheryl writes, whether moving to a new city
it has to do with what you identify with yourself as your person. And this is why I'm the type of person, well, it might also be autism, where I don't like to identify as things. I don't like to put labels on things. I don't like to put myself in boxes. And I don't do identity politics because I grew up in the 90s and we were told you never judge people based on who they love, what their race is, what their age is, what they look like. You don't judge people based on these things. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like using these traits as their identifiers. And I got whiplash. And I went, nope, nope. And the reason why is because it can cause what's kind of going on in our world today when you start doing that. You got to be careful. Got to be careful of identity politics, right? But the whole thing about transitioning, especially from like retirement, after working for a long time, is, yeah, if you identify yourself as your job, then when you lose that job, you lose yourself, right? So you have to create an identity for yourself that doesn't involve any of that. That just involves human traits. Like, can you be a good friend? Are you dependable? Can people tell you secrets? Can they trust you? Will you go blasting them everywhere? What kind of person are you? You can identify yourself as a parent, maybe, right? But even doing that can be dangerous. There's a lot of people that seem to think that a woman's only thing that she should be doing is being married and being a parent. I get messages under videos sometimes that are like, you're married and you're a mom. What are you doing on YouTube? You're not allowed to have any identity other than motherhood and wifehood. If you want to be anything else or do anything else, how dare you? And it's like, no, because that's dangerous. What if, heaven forbid, knock on wood, something happens to your family? And then you lose yourself? So you have to have an identity, and you have to have somewhat of an idea of who you are outside of all of these other things. And then it doesn't matter what comes and goes in your life or what transitions you go through, because you have your identity with you at all times and nothing can take it away from you. That's the secret. At times, though, there will be times where you'll have to shift your identity, right? You know, like motherhood was a very, very big part of my identity and my everyday stuff when my little one was much younger. Now, my little one is entering her preteens, right? So she's not hanging out with me all day long, every day, expecting me to entertain her 24/7, like when she was a baby and a toddler. You get what I'm saying? So you have to have your own hobbies, your own skills, your own interests, your own things. I even had a conversation with someone recently that was all like, how come your husband's never on your channel doing this with you? And I was like, because that's not his thing, it's my thing. Jesus Christ, am I not allowed to have my own thing? Right? Like, a healthy relationship is one where people can have their own interests and do their own things without the other person constantly looking over their shoulder, checking in or whatnot, right? And so I think that has a lot to do with how well you deal with change. And that's coming from me as someone who used to not deal with change well at all. And I was somebody that I think used to use other things to identify myself. You know, I went through that whole thing. I lost everything a few times and lost myself a few times and then figured that part out. And when that's the part that I was missing, that's why I lost myself all those times. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's just a very big part of it. I'm not really sure what any of this has to do with Victory with Ash, because I'm waiting for Megan, after having a decently, like, this is a pretty decent conversation. You know, I hope we've made it somewhat interesting. Talking about life transitions, you know, and how you can get through them and what can make them easier to some extent. I don't really want to go into a huge speech or anything. I feel like I already did. But I just know that at some point in this, Megan's going to say, and that's why the transition here from on Massive into Victory with Ash, and it's going to like kill any of the good things that she just said. Because this is what happens often, all right? It's not that these people are always saying bad, wrong things or giving bad advice. That's not always the case. Hey, Sam, what's up? I'm glad you made it. That's not the case, though. The case is they're doing it for the cult. The case is that when they do it, then they got to tie it right back into the cult. So then it loses its meaning. Right? It's like, well, do you actually feel these things? Because like when I go into those speeches, it's because that's how I actually think, that's how I actually feel. And I'm just fucking talking from the heart. When you go into them, I don't know if you're doing that or if you're just trying to come up with a topic that sounds emotional and profound and like a great conversation that's then going to turn around and promote this culty scam. Like, there's always a nefarious reason for it, right? An alternative motive in the background, hiding in plain sight if you're on this channel. but you know, like, and it's like, Because what Megan's saying here, like I said, it's not necessarily wrong. That's all very true. Yeah, transitions. Yes, some people lose themselves when it happens. Some people identify themselves with certain things. And then, yeah, if you see yourself as your career, retirement's going to be hard for you, of course. You know? Very interesting conversation to have about life. Not so interesting when it then turns into, so that's why you need Ash Mufara in your life. You know, because here's the thing, you don't need me. You don't need me. I'd like you to be here. I like hanging out with you. I would enjoy your presence. I hope that I can provide some form of entertainment and we can all learn and grow together in some way. But other than that, I'm not over here like, you need me to tell you about this. And it's so like when people do this, and then there's like the motive of, now I need this thing from you. I don't know. It's just, nothing means anything anymore, even if it should have. This could have been a great conversation about transitioning out of cults, let's say, but it's not like Megan's going to do that.
Having a baby, changing careers, going through a divorce, or shifting from anxiety to serenity, transitions are a part of life. While in the midst of change, even if the change is towards something joyous and positive, like a wedding or moving into your dream home, it's normal and healthy to feel grief, anger, fear, numbness.
Fair. And honestly, maybe a conversation we should have more. Because I think, like, some people, for example, I had a friend who got really nervous before their wedding. And for a split moment, they were like, oh my God, maybe I'm so nervous because I shouldn't be getting married. And it was like, no, you're nervous because you're making a big life change. And you get nervous when you make big life changes. So you're going to feel that. That's a normal feeling you're feeling. It doesn't mean now that it means something's wrong. By the way, she got married very, very happy for many, many years now. It was the right decision. So that's an important conversation to have. You know, sometimes, even if something good is coming, you can have some reservation about it. It doesn't mean that maybe you should cancel that. Right? But some people kind of read it in that way. That could be an interesting conversation. But coming from someone in on passive, it's like,
She even discusses that sensitive people, you know, if you're a sensitive person, if you're attuned to things, you may have trouble with transitions that happen in daily life, like getting out of bed, moving from the weekend back into the work week, you know.
I mean, that's really just my depression, Megan. And I take meds for that, but thank you.
How many of us feel if you work 5 days a week and you're off, you know, maybe Saturday and Sunday, and you feel that sense of melancholy on Sunday because you have to shift, you have to transition back into the work week. And she talks about how, you know, certain people are more in tune with the sorrow and the ups and downs of their emotions during these transition times.
Yeah, you have to be kind to yourself. Self-care, self-love. Do a lot of that. You deserve it.
What most people lack around transitions is basic information that would help them.
It was like, I am a robot and I don't feel anything.
Contextualize these emotions, make sense of them, and move through them effectively. Culturally, we focus on the externals of transition, planning a wedding, buying the car seat, packing and unpacking the boxes, to the exclusion of the inner realm. While the externals are important, when we bypass working consciously with the emotions activated during transition, we decrease our chances of adjusting to our new life cleanly and gracefully as possible. Why am I talking about this? Again, I'm talking about it because we are currently transitioning in Victory with Ash. Some people.
Oh, and there it is. There it is. I knew it was coming, but still. It's like, oh, fuck, as soon as it happens. I transitioned from being kind of melancholy to being like, oh, fuck my life. That's what you just did, Megan.
Are having difficulty transitioning into this new mindset of this new company business, movement that we're in. We have.
Well, to be fair, it's a little hard to transition into something when there's nothing there. I mean, that's why I said, like, if Ash was at least uploading videos into the back office this whole time, at least then you would feel like you're a part of something different now. But a lot of people feel like they're in limbo because they're just like they're stuck in neutral like Joe is. Like they're just kind of sitting there like, okay, this thing's supposed to start, but it hasn't yet because nothing's going on. Nothing's being added to it. Ash isn't around. You guys aren't even hardly around. And then like on passive is over and they're being told to forget it. And it feels like they are literally on a bridge, which I guess that's what Ash wants, to be fair.
People who are still using the old logos. We have people who are still have the old name of the old company on their social media. They're still talking about the old company. And I think that part of what makes transitions more difficult is not making a clean break or hanging on to what has been in the past. Sometimes I realize that I've missed out on something because I was still thinking about what I'm letting go of. And Cheryl says that every transition involves 3 phases.
She talks about it like she knows her. When and Cheryl says, I'm like, wait, did you guys have a conversation? They still want to use Omail. They're still hopeful that email is going to show up any day now, just like Ash will. I'm sure of it.
Letting go, during which we separate from the old life and grieve the loss. It's okay to grieve the loss of something. We're going to grieve the loss. I think it's okay for many people to be a little disappointed that the old business and the old way isn't.
See, apparently the writer and social worker who wrote whatever Megan's reading, because heaven forbid she think of any of this off the top of her head or write it down herself. I write scripts sometimes. For sure. There's sometimes on FriYAYs, I don't really write scripts unless I'm reading you guys a story time that I wrote. I'm not scripted in these shows at all. I plan what order I want things to go in, and as I'm planning them, I plan what I want to say in my head, and I'll be like, hopefully I remember to say this part here, and then I wing it. But then there's other times where I'm like, I need to sound more polished for this. Or where I'm like, I'm not sure how to express what I'm trying to say. I think too quickly for myself. And I know that sounds very strange, but my mind moves too quickly for me sometimes. Where my mind is in the next paragraph and I haven't said yet what the last paragraph, if that makes some sense. And I could slow it down a lot at times, but then there's sometimes where I'm like, I can't express what I'm trying to say, and I need to write a script for this part. Otherwise, I am going to butcher the fuck out of it, and it's important. Nothing wrong with that, But Jesus Christ, using ChatGPT to come up with a speech about transitions. If you can't have a conversation about it, just don't talk about it. I don't. We don't really need that part. Hello, salami. Hey. Maybe if you hear that at the grocery store, it might be salami though. So maybe you should turn around and wave just in case. Just in case. She doesn't water her plants. I at times have wondered if that's just a background. Cause the pots look monstrous behind her. There's something off about the perception here. If you get what I'm saying. But I'm not sure, because at the same time, maybe it's just an angle and the way that she sits and what she's wearing. And I don't know. It's like an optical illusion. You know, like, and that's the other thing. She does seem like a plant lady, like, for sure. So I'm like, I would completely believe that this woman has a greenhouse as a porch. Like, I'm like, yeah, I would probably do videos from out there too if I were her. That's a nice setting. You know, why not? But she does have to water them if they are real, because they're definitely dying like this scam is. Hopeful they'll grow into the pot.
Anymore.
Which kind of pot?
But we have an in-between, which is where we're right now, where we are right now.
Yeah.
During which, it's called the liminal stage, during which we are in the liminal, or limbo, quote, zone of transition.
Thanks, Megan. Victory with plants. Those plants are not having a victory. They need some Miracle Grow.
Detached from the old life, but not yet established in the new one. It's highly uncomfortable, characterized by feeling disoriented, a little bit depressed, and a little bit out of control.
See, like, okay, it would make sense if you were in limbo, if the limbo was expected here, and if Ash was like, listen, we're going through a transition period, and nothing is going to be happening. Except that's not what happened. He said we're, like, technically transitioning. I swear to God, if I hear that word again, I don't want to start saying it now. But yeah, he's like, we're transitioning from one thing to the other thing. Okay. But he was like, and in between, like, while we're doing that, I am going to also be teaching you. So something was supposed to be provided during this limbo period. All right. Like, maybe if he had done that part, you wouldn't feel like it's such a limbo, which I figured was the point of it. I'm kind of surprised that it's gone on this long with nothing again, and that they're all kind of here. Like, he'll come back soon, guys. Because it's like, if he can't even upload a video of himself teaching you for half an hour into the back office once a week, but then he expects you to do these? Okay.
I think some of the people in our community are feeling this. They don't know exactly what's happening. And so they feel a little bit out of control. It's uncomfortable to be in a stage where you don't exactly know what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
But this is normal. You know, we've just recently received our new website, and it's gorgeous. And we know that things are happening behind the scenes.
I guess this website won't be changing every week. Like, this is it, huh? Remember when their website was changing all the time? It was supposed to change like every day. And then I think he realized that involved doing actual work every day, and that wouldn't be cool. He gets mad because he's the boss, and then people come to him as the boss. Right? He doesn't like it. So I think people were trying to code this website every day, but then they're like, well, what do you want us to do with it? And then he was getting mad. So then it was like every week. It seems like we've dropped that, though. And now this is just going to be the website. So we're going to be stuck with this one. Well, apparently forever, because I'm scared if he changes the website again, then you guys will expect something. And if I'm scared of that, he's going to be real scared of it.
We not have all the information, and that's okay. But we have to trust. And then the final stage that she talks about is rebirth, in which we embrace the new life and identity and feel confident, comfortable, and excited about the possibilities of growth that a new beginning holds.
Megan, I feel like you already did a video like this. And I'm getting deja vu. Like you already kind of scolded people for still bringing up on passive and not moving into victory with Ash, and now you're kind of like doing it again. Lord, how the F do they know things are going on behind the scenes? That's the thing. They don't. They just all apparently have so much faith in Ash that he is working around the clock for them. Like, apparently he's working 24/7. He never sleeps. He never eats. He never spends time with his family. He's sacrificing his life for them. You just don't see any fruits of this labor, ever. And it's been going on for like 8 years. And it's like, dude, like, when are you going to just wake up? Wake up! Like Cece says. From Westchester County. You know, like we don't know anything. In fact, I would argue that we have more proof that nothing is happening other than they've changed the colors on their website and made it one page, which, by the way, red flag. Because the second I said that, I got messages, emails, and people in the chat, and I knew this, but I just thought it was funny. Everyone else immediately also clued in. Everyone did. As soon as I said it, everyone went, that's cheaper. Interesting, he's going with a cheaper version of the website. If things are going so well and so much is going on behind the scenes. And I just found that funny. Everyone picked up on it and went, eek, that's not good, except for them. Everyone else in the world was like, whoa. But these guys were like, oh my God, it's because he wanted to make it easier for us. To me, it's not easier. It's not easier because there's no fucking scroll. There's no scroll bar. The website stinks if you're on a laptop. It only really works on a phone. If you're on your computer, you're fucked. It sucks. They only did it for mobile, which then made me wonder if that was because the person who did it only had a mobile. You know, which that's probably not good. You should probably have both if you're coding things. I'm just saying. Just a suggestion. Because look what happens. You gotta check things out on all devices. But like, it's just, like, they just have faith in him, and I'm like, we don't know why. Because, well, again, history tells us.
Many of us we already feel the rebirth. We already know that we're excited about what's coming. Why do some people have the ability to accept this better than others? I'm not sure. I think
maybe, again, it's because Ash didn't give you anything to do, anything to look forward to. Nothing. It's as much his fault as it is their fault. I'd say more his fault if you ask me, but anyway.
It's just the way we're wired. I think we have to just...
You're human.
Look to ourselves with grace and with, forgiveness.
To be fair, also, you did that for 8 years. And then you were just like, all right, stop doing that now. Now we're doing this. And you expected everyone to just be like, okay. Like, no. And there's going to be some people who are going to be like, what do you mean? This isn't a thing anymore. I was just here for 8 fucking years. Which, again, they kind of have a right to. So it's like, you haven't even done victory with Ash for longer than, it's been like just a year. All right? And again, there's nothing going on. Nothing.
And look to others with a little bit of grace. But we have to take responsibility for our own coping with the transitions that we're going through.
It's almost like they think that Ash won't show up until they all shut up about everything, and then maybe he'll arrive. And they're starting to get mad at each other for not, like, going silent. It's weird.
Strategies for navigating transitions. Preparation. Proactively prepare for significant changes emotionally and physically. Okay? So if you start to recognize that some of what you're feeling is just a transition and it's normal, then we can have a bigger, clearer picture on how to deal with it. Second one, goal clarity. Define your future goals 3 to 10 years out for life and for business. This ensures a good future. Okay, so don't get lost in the transition. Regroup, ground yourself, and define what you want to
He's like, don't get lost. Megan, you're the one that took off for a week. What do you mean?
accomplish, and make sure you're on the right track. Communication. Keep family, keep stakeholders, inform them in the transition. That's why we have circles, so we can stay connected and we can inform each other when something comes up. You know, we all want information from Ash. Everyone wants information. Everybody's getting messages, questions, but we have to trust that Ash is somewhat quiet for a very strategic reason.
See? See? See what they're doing? See the mental gymnastics we're doing here? Ash is quiet, obviously for a strategic reason. Which, that might be true. His lawyers might have finally been like, will you shut the fuck up? Like, you literally have a final judgment from the SEC. Like, you can't afford us again, sir. Stop talking, damn it. They totally might have. I've been questioning, as you guys know, why they haven't done this before. Like, I've been kind of sitting here the whole time, like, his lawyers haven't told him to, like, not do this? Like, that's weird. Because I can tell you right now, if you're in any kind of court case, the first thing your lawyers are going to do is tell you not to go around talking too much about this or talking publicly about it, because anything you say about it can then be used against you in court. Remember, you have the right to stay silent when it comes to civil cases too. When it comes to being on the internet especially. And I've always said that. I've always said, especially out here on the internet, if you're going to court for anything, shut the fuck up about it. Don't talk about it until it's done. Thank me later. You're welcome. Because everyone that ever opens their mouth, it screws them over. Trust me. So I've always been wondering. So maybe, but they all like have convinced themselves that this actually means the exact opposite of what the rest of us know that this means. You know? She's like one of those World War II Japanese soldiers left behind on an island who doesn't know the war is over. That's exactly how I feel about like all of them. And I'm honestly, I've said before, I don't know how long it would take for them to all realize it. Like, I'm like, they would still do, who knows how long they do this for. Ash could take off to Dubai and be like, fuck these people. And 3 years from now, they might still be like, well, you know, guys, it's going to be amazing when he does finally launch the O Connect again. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, hello? Like, how long does he have to stay gone for? What is the cutoff point? Because I always tell people, draw your lines. Draw those boundaries, draw those lines. Say, these are the things I will not put up with. This is my limit with this and that. And you should really, like, especially with how things are going, if you're in this thing, you should have really gone into this part of it going, okay, I am not going to be here for any longer than, like, a fucking month. And if this guy doesn't release something or do something that proves his worth to me, I'm gone. Like, fuck this. Obviously, this isn't working out. Like, you have to do that. That's what saved me from MLMs. Because there's certain things that I can't ignore. And you really have to know what those things are. So that if you ever are in a situation like this, because nobody is safe, by the way. I tell people that all the time. No one's safe from manipulation, unfortunately. I wish that I could give you the cheat code or the shield, but there isn't one. Even I still get manipulated all the time. Okay? Like it happens. Like I said, it's happened. All right. No one is susceptible to cults, scams, manipulation, that type of harm at all. And then if you're in a situation like this, at least you've drawn those lines. And maybe then you will get out of it. You have a better chance of getting out of it then than people that didn't draw those lines, that didn't say, okay, this is my limit. This is the most I'll put up with here. But like after I didn't make money for like 6 months, which is probably way longer than most people would last, I was like, all right, come on, what's going on? Like if this doesn't happen right now, what the fuck, guys? You know? And these people should really be like, okay, Ash has been gone since October. There's no videos. All we've seen is a website update, which, by the way, that might not even have anything to do with him. I don't think it's him coding the websites, changing the colors, moving things around when that happens. I don't think it's ever him. I don't even think he's writing the messages in the back. So, like, that to me is an even sign of life from him. And they also took that OES back office message as a sign from him, which I also don't accept. You know? It's ridiculous. I didn't see Nilo Life's new scam gimmick because I've had a crazy week, but send it my way. Also, shouldn't it be Neo Life now that Larry Lane has moved on? He was the L. They've lost the L.
That's what we have each other for, is to keep each other on track, to keep each other grounded.
But again, what does that mean, being on track? I don't even know what that means here because I have no instruction. I like to know what's expected of me, damn it.
Emotional readiness is the last one. Acknowledge the emotional challenge of letting go of your current role or current situation.
Again, we're just doing the same thing. We're literally just doing the same thing. We're just waiting around for Ash to show up with something. Is that not what we did in the last scam? How am I supposed to transition? Like you're asking me, Megan, to transition from sitting around and waiting in one scam for Ash Mufareh to show up with something to then sitting around and waiting in a new thing for Ash Mufareh to show up with something, and you're acting like that's doing two different things. And I don't understand. This is some mental gymnastics. All right, I've lost 15 pounds since this video has started because I'm jumping and twirling all around.
And move towards the next adventure.
You scan people. Okay, with your phone, and then it tells you your health stuff. That was an actual app at one point. That was there was an app that there was a few apps actually that used to do silly things like that. Mind you, that was back before we had the technology we do today. There was one where it said it could scan you and tell you if you were pregnant. And I remember back when I was downloading like apps on my phone to track my ovulation and then my pregnancy, as women do, way back in the day, like that one popped up. And I was like, and people actually thought that it would tell them. And I was like, I don't know why you would ever think that you could like take a picture of your stomach and then they would be able to tell you. Anyway, I'm not surprised. I believe it.
So I would love to see everyone let go of the old logos, old mentality of on.
See, the thing is, you created a movement. And although Ash likes to think he has complete control over the movement, he doesn't. It got away from him a little bit. And that's why I think he realized that. That's what part of this has all been about. But that's the thing. It is that when something becomes like a movement, it moves even if you don't. So it's kind of, on Passive kind of turned into its own monster, especially in certain areas like Africa, India, where there is like full-on communities that joined, like a whole village that joined. That actually happened in PNG. And they used to all gather around one laptop computer to watch the webinars. And we would be like, Lord, what is going, like, how are they all they all paid for O Connected for the business, allegedly. But then they had one computer. You know what I mean? Like, just ridiculousness. But, like that's a thing. Like, this thing's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. It's like, wake up, damn it!
Passive and fully embrace the new Victory with Ash mentality. We've been told that Victory with Ash is a bridge. It's a transition. It's a doorway into whatever the future business is.
It's the San Fran Bridge. It's what fuck it is.
Remember, you have identity beyond a role. So whatever you thought your role was in this journey, regroup, think of your identity.
Again, what the fuck does that mean? What is your role here?
Outside of that. So if it's feeling overwhelming to you, go back to, whatever you do in your personal life that you love to do. That's what so many people are doing.
I don't like bridges. Every time I hear this is a bridge, I think the bridge to total freedom. You should know what that is.
Doing right now, whether it's travel, go back. And we all know that we all want to see this through and we want to see this come to fruition. But we can't put all of our identity in what's happening and what's going to happen. We have to stay grounded in ourselves.
But that's the thing, is that you told them all to put their identity into it. Right. And now you're like, hey, why did you do that? You can't tell them to do it for 8 years. And then when they've done it, be like, actually, we're pivoting over here. Why did you do that?
So I want to read you another little excerpt from Cheryl Paul. And she talks about that the 4 seasons are the most accurate metaphor that we can understand the psychological processes that describe transitions. Autumn represents the letting go phase. Winter is the liminal no man's land. Spring commences the rebirth, which finds full bloom in the splendor of summer. So,
that only works for those of us who get snow in the winter and then hot weather in the summertime. Just saying.
It's just like the turbulent transition from caterpillar to butterfly.
Thank you.
That transition in between the chrysalis is things can go wrong there.
The butterfly, the symbol of change.
They're not quite sure. We're not sure. If you've ever watched a monarch unfold, things can go wrong. People, things go wrong in the journeys of life, just like in this journey that we've experienced with Ash. Things go wrong, but here's the beauty.
Okay, but what if this has gone terribly wrong and nothing is happening? Are you also planning for that and readying yourself emotionally for that? Because that would be a good thing to maybe start doing. Megan, since we're here talking about it, you should also be planning for when you have to transition into deprogramming yourself after all the time that you've spent here. Because let me tell you, you're in for one hell of a ride with that. Again, coming from someone who's on the other side now.
Ash has never stopped. He's still going. He didn't take too long in the old company. He didn't stop there and linger too long. He started moving into that transition. He foresaw what was happening.
They literally shut it down, Megan. The SEC shut the thing down. Okay? Like, what do you mean?
And he moved into the right direction without lingering in the old ways.
Kind of couldn't. Would have been illegal.
I will read you, this is Mark Firth who wrote this. The passage state is characterized by uncertainty.
You guys got to stop reading, okay? It hasn't been going well for any of you this week.
There's no guarantee about the outcome or the environment of the new room one is moving towards.
Okay.
Firth emphasizes that in these moments, faith becomes not just a choice, but a necessity. It's about trusting that the next chapter will be the right one, even without complete visibility. That's where we're at. We don't have complete visibility. That's what...
You don't have any visibility. You've gone into this blind. Completely blind, which I don't recommend. I just think that maybe you should know more about the thing that is apparently in charge of yours and your entire lineage's future. I mean, call me crazy, but like I wouldn't go and put all of my energy, time, and money into something that was just going to take it all from me. And I had no clue what it even was. I'd like to know what the name is and what I'll be doing while I'm there. You know, otherwise maybe I don't want to put my money and time and energy into that. I do not believe in that. I believe in asking lots of questions, making an educated decision about things like that. All right, there's times for being spontaneous, and the time is not when you're betting your whole future on something, and apparently the future of your entire family. Right? I don't think that's the time to gamble. So maybe you should know more about what this is and what's happening. I'm just a suggestion. You seem to really like advice. You should take some of the right advice.
Faith is all about. If you have faith in the journey, whether it's personal or whether it's in Victory with Ash.
Listen, faith in a God won't harm you unless you join a cult. And then the cult harms you. All right? Let's be real. Putting faith in Ash Mufara is stupid. Okay? It's not even the same thing. I would almost rather you put faith in something that's not real that also can't come and hit you with a bus. All right? The thing about Ash Mufara is that he can't actually fuck you over at large. That's the part that you're missing. Because I don't know where he is or what he's doing. I don't know if his name is attached to this. I don't know if this man has decided that he wants to run away off into the night and leave you all with this bill. And guess who will be left with the bill? It'll be the people that are doing the daily videos. The most promotions. The people who are seen as the leaders. It's happened before. We've watched it happen. So maybe you ought to know what's going on, you know?
Then you just have to believe that it's going to turn out.
Just believe.
Have a blessed Thursday.
The law of attraction works. I did have a blessed Thursday. I mean, as blessed as I could. It was crazy, but it was also an all right day. Trust me, I've had bad days before. It wasn't one. So thank you. Megan did that amazing video. All right. And albeit, like I said, there was a few things that she said where I was like, yeah, you know, that's a pretty decent thing to talk about life, like we talked about, you know. But man, then every single person in this has been referencing that video for the last 2 days. You would think that the woman made a video teaching us all how to cure cancer. Like, it's literally been ridiculous. They're like, oh my God, the video that Megan did, it was the best video that I've ever seen. And I'm like, all right. You guys are looking to Sherry. Megan's video is apparently the best one you've ever seen. Are you all okay? Are you all okay? So James had to go live. And in his video, he mentions that, you know, Megan's video was amazing. But he wanted to come on and ask all of us, the public, the audience, his audience, you know, which I guess we would be his audience, I guess, what we are waiting for. The video is called, What Are You Waiting For? And the first thing I thought when I read that is, No, no, sir. What are you waiting for? Like, seriously, what? What is it? What are you waiting for? Listen, I give the question to you. So I thought we would take a moment and see what he has to say. But if you guys want to tap out during this one, we can.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, family. This is Jim Hawkins coming to you on March 19th, 2026. I wanted to entitle this video, What Are We Waiting For?
Yeah, what are you waiting for? That's a great question. You know, and if you asked it in the right way in this video, I'd be so happy. Please, please, Jimmy Jim, please take this where I would hope you would take this. You're not gonna.
And this is gonna sound very familiar if you watched Megan Mitchell's recent video.
That we just did.
She entitled hers Transitions, and
oh no, are you going to transition?
We're kind of thinking the same, we're like-minded, thinking the same kind of things. But I wanted to share some information.
Which makes sense. Like I said, there were some life-pondering questions in that. It is probably one of the better streams of all of the ones we've watched over the last several months. At least Megan actually did say a couple of real things. Even though she was reading stuff to us, it wasn't quite ChatGPT slop. And you know, there was some interesting conversation to be had. I will give her that. I can't hate on this guy. He seems cool. Oh yeah, no, we're not hating on Jim. I feel kind of sorry for him in a way. Because I do feel like he seems like a very sweet person. And that's the thing. I hate these things the most because it seems like sometimes the nicer of a person you are, the more susceptible you will be. Because the one thing that all these things promise is giving people the ability to help. And there's a lot of us where if we had the means to help, that's what we would be doing with it. And so if an MLM shows up and says, I will give you that means, we jump on that opportunity. That's why I joined. I thought, wow, think of all the people I could actually help, and in so many other ways. If these people actually did help me get like an audience to be able to help that many people, that would be so cool. And sometimes we come across people in these and I'm like, I know that's why they joined too. Like Sherry or Jim here. Where it's like, I do feel like they joined because they are genuinely good-hearted, decent people who outside of this would never hurt a fly and who I hope they've drawn their lines on hurting others too. So if Ash ever expected them to hurt someone in future, that would be what made them leave. Like that's what made me leave. Right? So I believe that there's a lot of really good-hearted people that is why they joined. You know, sure, some people like the products that MLMs sell, and some people are in it for the money. But then a lot of people are in it because they were promised the ability to actually help people and have an income that would give them the ability to maybe even use finances to do so. If I was a billionaire, there would be no starving people in this world. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like that, but we don't have the means. And it's like, that's what these things promise. So for people that wish that they could, you know, and it sucks. It does. It sucks. Because it also takes them away from actually helping people, as I have talked a lot about that. About how I'm like, damn, a lot of these people, they got skills, man. And if they would just use them for something else, it would actually make them go far. He needs Cece's hair to pull this off. He's not far. Wasn't he supposed to come out with a video to surprise us, or did I miss it? Yeah, no, there was nothing. This is it. We've watched them all.
Right now, Victory with Ash.
Well, the later
if you were
ones.
not aware about, within the last week, there were some updates to the new Victory with Ash website.
Oh my God!
If you want to go and check that out, it's victorywithash.com.
They act like there's some like crate, like it just moved to one page and they changed the colors.
Check it out. You can join in as a private invitation only. If you would like to find out more, please message me. But Victory with Ash, a lot of changes have been made to the website, a lot of new colors, new scenery within the site. Go check it out. So again, some of the things that I encourage you to go and listen to Megan Mitchell's video from this. It's actually Thursday, March 19th as well. But there's going to be some similarities. Again, sharing that were mind-liking ideas that we had for our videos. I haven't put a video out for a little while too. I've been busy with work. Usually when I get back from vacation, I'm full on pedal to the metal kind of, just trying to get things organized for the next thing that I'm going to be doing soon. But I wanted to say, what are we waiting for?
What?
First of all, a lot of people have been complaining, I would imagine, because there's been such a silence in Ash. But let me share this information with you if you're not aware. Just the fact that there are things that have changed within the Victory with Ash site tells me Ash is working. He's working behind the scenes. He's working hard to update things.
Yeah, it's working nicely. His manipulation of you is working nicely. That's pretty much why he did that. I feel like it was a short little, here you go, shut the hell up for a while. Stop complaining. Just be silent like I told you and praise me. Build an altar with my picture on it.
Even though Ash is not physically coming out and giving a webinar or any kind of viewing from Ash.
You're telling me that this man on the way to his car, even if he was the busiest man in the world, couldn't do a 30-second video being like, hey guys, just wanted to pop on here and let you know to go check out the new website. Or, hey guys, just wanted to say Merry Christmas to all of my Victory with Ash members. Or, hey, Happy New Year. Or Happy Eid or Holy. You're telling me he couldn't do that? He was that busy? Like, in my opinion, if he really did care, he would try his best to pop on for a minute and be like, hey, yo, I'm here. Don't worry. I am here working. Here's proof of that. He's always expected you to just know that he's doing things. When has he ever proven that things are actually happening? Because everything seems so scrambled last minute. And then when it comes out, it sucks. So, I mean, come on.
Again, just to remind you, Ash is doing things differently this time. We learned...
Not really. Seems to be going pretty much the same. Like I said, there's no changes. If anything, we might be doing worse because he's disappeared completely.
The hard lessons, and again, I've shared with multiple other videos that I've done. Ash learned a hard lesson with as much as that he was sharing in the past. He's not doing it this time. If he has something to say, he will come out and say it. There should be...
Which is why I'm like, okay, so nothing's going on. Right? Because if there was an update to give, because so much was happening, there would have to be something by now, you would think, right? But yet he hasn't come on here with anything. So why should I then be thinking that so much is happening? Like, it makes no sense.
And understanding, and this goes into a whole different direction. I wanted to share this too with my international friends that I've got through this company. the former company, and now Victory with Ash.
See, the
There's
thing
a
is,
lot of
you guys keep talking about people need to move on from the former company, but then you keep bringing up the former company yourself. And you know, like Megan's whole video was transitioning from the last company to this one. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, but if you want them to stop bringing it up, you also have to stop bringing it up, and you have to stop bringing up how they bring it up. Like, you have to be the leader, you know, by not doing that yourself. But even when you talk about it and the friends you've made, you feel the need to be like, oh, well, you know, when I was in the old company, I made those friends, and then we're friends now here. So it's like you guys haven't even moved on. So take your own advice first. How about?
concern about, because Ash has been so silent, a lot of people are starting to stray away, and that's fine. Again, Megan mentions some of this about what to do in your transitions, how to transition, and people have difficult times. But again, my interpretation of this is you got to do what you got to do. You can't rely, and this is to help my brothers in the, like I said, the international community. We are one big family. Sometimes we don't understand each other, maybe through translation, but this is to help them out. I am a single lingual person. I only speak one language, and I apologize for that, and maybe perhaps in my future I'll learn some other languages, but I'm getting a little old for that. It's hard to teach the old dog new tricks.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. No one is ever too old to learn something new.
But I will encourage my friends if this translates well, I encourage this to be shared out to my my friends around the international community. But we're all here doing the same thing, and again, we're trying to.
Well, no, we don't all have the same circumstances, and I think that's important to also keep in mind.
Lead our circles, our groups, our people, our family members, to keep them upbeat, to keep them supported, and again, I hope the translation of this can get out there to my friends and to the.
Like, there were some people that were depending on this because they were promised that this was going to come save them and their whole communities, because they were in such a different position than like you, Jim, or I am in. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be a little bit more restless, understandably so. It's really easy to wait around for riches when you already have them. Right? But you preyed on people in areas that have way less than we have, and made a lot of real big promises. Like in areas that don't even have clean running water, for example. And you promised them you were going to bring them clean running water. That's something that I think shouldn't exist in our world. I don't think anyone should be without the access to free fucking water. I also think toilet paper and some other things should be free too, by the way, but we won't get into that conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? So like, when Ash showed up and said, I'm going to help bring you all of your basic needs, and they were like, okay, you know, having to wait around really sucks when you're waiting around for something that was promised to you, like water. You know, like they have more riding on this than you do. And so if it doesn't turn out, it's worse for them. And the wait is cruel. I mean, you're essentially dangling riches in front of people's faces that were depending on you for basic things like access to clean water. which is something that you and I probably take for granted a lot when we go and have a shower or fucking pour ourselves a glass of water, or I fill up my jug to boil my coffee in the morning, you know? Like, there's people that can't even do that. So like I said, it's easy. It's easy to be like, oh guys, calm down. Oh, I don't know why you guys are so upset. Don't worry, he's working behind the scenes. When you're sitting in a house with the running water and you have clothes on your back and your fridge is full of food and you got vehicles to go to where you need to go, and you know, you got to keep that in mind when you're doing these videos to other places. Yes, we're the same, but there's also some differences here that I think are important to highlight. Because if you're going to talk about what makes the transition easier for some people versus other people, I think that has something to do with it.
Especially the ones that are leaders, that lead videos and whatnot. But I will encourage them. I'm here for them as well. Again, we're here to motivate, to keep positive. But going back to the title, what are we waiting for? Again, we are waiting for something big. We had the example from the former company. And again, some people are still using the logos and the signs and stuff. That former company is no longer here. I would encourage you not.
You're keeping it alive, Jimmy Jim.
To use those, although they're very, when you look at it, it's very encouraging to see that there was a business and we were going.
Was there business
in the right direction? But again, as we mentioned before, we just had the breakdowns and whatnot, but that's not important for right now. But what is important is that we just
had the breakdowns, but that's not important. What's important is Ash hasn't been here since October.
Try to communicate the same message, the same messages to our community, for those that are.
I can't help with the irony of you guys calling yourselves Victory with Ash now after the last thing was shut down, This is funny for us.
Still waiting to find out, what's going on. Again, I hope this translation will get out in the right manner, so that
we have no clue what's going on, but trust that there's a lot going on and that something big is coming soon. But we don't know what it is. Just have faith. Non-passive logos are easier to use because Victory with Ash does not have any logos, nor does it roll off the tongue. No, it does have a logo. But you are correct in the fact that the logo for Victory with Ash, even if you go look at my thumbnail right now, there's a logo for Victory with Ash. But it's purple lettering and then a V that kind of looks like the Scientology symbol, to be honest with you. Very similar. It's supposed to be like a VWE symbol. It just looks like an upside down Scientology symbol, really. That is technically the logo. But you are correct. The logo for passive, it being the round circle, and then oftentimes they would just put the word on passive like on top. It's way easier to remove the background on that image and reuse it. The Victory with Ash logo, when you go to remove the background off of letters, it doesn't work as well. And if you want to make a transparent PNG, right, or GIF, I don't know what you guys use. I use PNG. But you want to make a transparent one so that you can reuse that image over and over and over again, right? You need something that's going to actually stay. Like half of the logo disappears when you try to do it with the Victory with Ash one. And I do think that might have something to do with it. If they made the logo more of a solid type of logo, people would want to use it more. And it being 3 words instead of just 1 word, of course. It's a lot. It's a lot to say. It's kind of bigger in a way because, yeah, you have to have the victory with Ash on it because people aren't familiar. The thing is, like, the OnPassive logo went further than this thing has. I feel like, you know, like people know what OnPassive is way more than they know what Victory with Ash is. And even I hashtag OnPassive scam a lot when I cover this. Because there are people that were tracking this, and then when it switched and I started calling it Victory with Ash, they didn't realize it was the same thing. Right? They were like, wait, isn't this thing, didn't it get shut down? And I'm like, no, we've been covering it the same. You know what I mean? And it's just because it's a different name now. That's why these things rebrand like that. And that's why we got to keep track of them and make sure we remind people with these schemes, they all rebrand. They all do it. So it's kind of funny. Like, that's why I think a lot of times they'll put OnPassive in their YouTube video titles or the images or in the captions, because that's the word that grabs people's attention. It's going to take a while for the Victory with Ash to be as well known, even amongst the people within this thing. And it's almost like they didn't realize how big of a monster they created. And now they're trying to contain it, and it's not being contained. And they're like getting upset. And it's like, hey, but it was your fault. Because remember, there was a time where you guys wanted this to spread like wildfire. And now you're here like, shit. Why did we do that?
Again, sharing the same information, not hyping, not inflating.
And that's the other thing. Like, we're not hyping this. So, like, it's not going to happen. Stop trying to make Victory with Ash happen. It's not going to happen.
Victory with Ash will get here. Again, the changes, that's speaking volumes to me, sharing that Ash is out there, Ash is his team, they're working still behind the scenes. Again, that speaks volumes to me, and I'm sharing that with you.
Nobody knows, though. All of you are just saying that. It's not like it's like, I don't even know if Chris is talking to Ash anymore. Get what I'm saying? Like, because he's not out here like, oh, Ash texted me yesterday. And we all know that if he was getting a lot of texts, he would eventually mention it, at least on Facebook or something, because he uses it too much. He's a bragger. So, like, how do we know? They don't have any more knowledge than you have. So, like, we have no clue.
Ash is doing stuff. He's not just sitting around. He's not. He's a human too, and he's got to spend time with his family, and he has dedicated a lot of his life to getting this promise delivered to us as a community. Again, we stick around as a family. We help each other out. Again,
yeah, I guess Ash has to spend time with his family, except for this family, right? You guys?
And what are we waiting for? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting?
There's a lot of goodness that we are waiting for. A lot of things that was delivered to us going back to the old company. OConnect was a phenomenal platform. I kind of hope that there's still an OConnect somewhere in our future, but I don't know if that's a possibility or not. But that was it was a wake-up call to Zoom and to all those other platforms that use multi people in one community, one platform to communicate in a large manner.
I don't know what you're talking about. Zoom has that ability. So does Skype. So does StreamYard. Like, I don't understand. And it doesn't cost those platforms $6,000 a month to keep it running per user. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you had to pay $6,000 a month to use Zoom? Jesus Christ. Like, the fee you get charged is a little bit inflated over what it costs for you to use their platform, basically. Right? They use the fee to pay the charges. Your payment goes towards any of the charges that they get for you using their platform. You know, the bandwidth and all of that stuff. So, like here on StreamYards, I find it's crazy expensive. I think it's like $80 a month or something like that. But they did add a whole bunch of extra stuff to it, so it might be more expensive now than the $20 they were charging. I still don't think it's $80, but you know, for the most part, that's what you are paying for. And then, of course, you got to pay for the company to have employees, and then the company needs to make a little bit of a profit. So that's why it's the price that it is. Right? I just imagine. Like, no one would pay that. And they wouldn't switch over to whatever On Passive was doing for their own Connect, because they'd be like, dude, we've been here doing it for longer than you, and we figured out how to do it cheaper. Like, fuck you, you know?
So if Victory with Ash is anything like O Connect, we're in for something good. And that's what I'm...
Since the new year. Well, it's been since October. Like I said, I'm not taking any of these like back office messages as proof of life. All right? Because I don't know if it's him.
I'm waiting for that. Again, patience is our biggest friend right now. Again, for the leaders that are out there, sharing to their circles, to their community. We are waiting for something big. It's going to be big when it comes out. Big. And we already know.
We don't know what it is. We don't know what it's about. We don't know when it's coming. We have no communication with the person who's doing it. But we do know it's going to be big. Massive.
What this Victory with Ash is going to lead to, if the direction goes in any type of business fashion, Victory with Ash is going to lead that. It's going to help us develop ourselves and our potential future business.
Is it?
It's going to lead us into something great. So again, that's...
Okay, can you explain how? No? Okay, well, I don't want to be a part of it then. That's what will happen here if you try to recruit people.
What I'm waiting for. I hope that's what you're waiting for too.
I hope.
I do encourage you to listen to Redfern and Megan and
okay.
There's still so many people putting out, and
Jesus Christ. Now we also gotta listen to Redfern.
And I only have so much time in a day. Sherry Dershowitz, she's putting out stuff almost every night.
Yeah, every day. She is, and they're really taking what she's saying like real serious. Who are these people? This is James Hawkins. Jimmy Jim. Yes, he is our Timu Marty DeGarmo. Since Marty DeGarmo passed away, we found a new one, you know?
Again, I just don't have that luxury. Someday when I can retire or something, when Victory with Ash takes me to retirement, I'll have more time to put out videos. But anyway, I just wanted to share that again. I apologize to Megan. We just were
poor Jimmy isn't going to retire until he's 93.
Thinking kind of the same way, and I just wanted to get out there and say this is what I'm waiting for. I hope this is what you're waiting for too. We just have to find we have to find things to do.
I'm sorry, what is it? Oh, you don't know. Okay.
While we're waiting. Complaining is great, but just there's not much we can do until Ash is ready to put this out there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my content. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Of course.
I've been watching a lot of YouTubes, and I see how...
Wait, do you need 1,000 subscribers again to get monetized? I thought they pushed down to 500, which kind of pissed me off there, YouTube. Great job there, YouTube. Thank you so much for doing that. That was wonderful, bud, you know, after I had already had to get to 1,000 to get monetized. You just decided to drop it down to 500. You know, I'm just saying, thank you so much. But it's about like why? Because a lot of people still say that, where they're like, I'm trying to get to 1,000. Or is it just like the new YouTube thing to do, to be like, yeah, get me to 1,000 subs? Like, I guess it would work. Guys, get me to 80,000 subscribers by the end of the week. Let's go! Woo woo!
YouTube works, and like I said, I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to do things for money, but I can use my YouTube in a different manner after I get over 1,000 subscribers. So, anyway.
What's that? I don't understand. I had the same thing before and the same thing after being monetized. So I'm wondering, like, what more can you do other than then you can have members and you can get donations and you get paid for AdSense? Are there other things that you get that I'm not aware of? Am I missing out on things that I just don't know?
I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Make a comment. I do try to respond back to you all. Again, I do love you guys as a family. And if you're not,
we do not support harassing anyone. Thank you. Save it for the Zoom meetings.
Family, please message me, and I'll make you part of the family. I'll become part of the family. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. I don't know when I'll be back. I do have another vacation coming up in a couple weeks. I'll share more about that later. So again, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. The highway rest stop is the new Burj Khalifa. Woo-woo! Maybe they should move the metro station there too. Just make it easy to travel. So yeah, that was Jimmy. I told you that, you know, if he came out, we would view it. So there it is. And then he wanted to lead us to good old Red Redford's video. So I was like, oh my God, now I got to go check in with Red Redford. So I went and checked in with Red Redford. And did he have a fucking stroke? Like, what is going on with Red Redford? Okay, what was going on with Red Redford, though? Okay, this was ridiculous. All right, first of all, I don't know. You'll see what I mean. You'll see it. Also, he decided to call this one mentors. He's talking about how you need to have a mentor. All right, I'm of the idea that you don't need to have a mentor. All right, it's nice to have a mentor, but baby, I'm so confident that you got this. You got this life. You don't need anyone telling you how to live. You'll figure it out, okay? Empower yourself instead of getting a guru. That's what I say. But, you know, of course, here in the On Passive cult, we are going to promote Ash Mufara being our personal mentor. So he does a whole live stream talking to us about mentors in a cult. And that's the one that they were all so excited about. So I thought that we would check that one out together.
Okay, hello everybody. How are you? Good to be here today, Thursday, 19th of March. Hope you're having a good day. Oh
yeah, it was all on Thursday. All of it happening on Thursday. I was like, Jesus Christ. See, Thursday was a busy day, damn it. It was busy.
Wherever you are. Sorry, no live yesterday.
Mentos fresher. Sorry. My brain triggers songs sometimes and I can't help it. All right, but I won't sing you the whole Mentos song today. Jane's still there. Somebody save Jane. She's been sitting in the background for years. All we see is her head. And poor Jane.
Maybe not been doing so many at the moment because I've got quite a lot of work on, but I'll certainly try and get in when I can. So instead of 5 days a week, it might sort of be 3 or 4. But just play it by ear. If I'm not here, don't worry. Nothing's.
Oh my God, no, Red, I don't know how I will go on. I don't know how I'll go on, how I will live if you are not doing live streams every single day. Oh, I'm going to have to start going to counseling. You know, this might be a really hard transition for me. I might have to go start watching that Cheryl lady.
Happening as far as me not being here, it's just that work is just getting in the way of things.
Chris says, I'm catching up. Jim Hopkins is a U.S. postal worker. I thought so. He's got a pretty good retirement in Victory Without Ash. To be fair, though, I did hear that being a postal worker is very, very difficult. I know that here in Canada, it's not the greatest job. I don't know if U.S. is the same, but they go on strike a lot here and often complain about their treatment at the workplace and wages and unions and stuff. So I hope it ain't like that in the U.S. as well. You know, because even if you got a good retirement, it could also be a killer of a job. Maybe that's why he's so tired all the time, you know? But yeah, when you're in a position of privilege, it's easier on you, isn't it? That's what privilege is.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I have deleted all of the fluff from this video. So Red did his 60-minute thing. He came on, he said hello. He did a whole bunch of shout outs to people where he was like, hello, this person. I've cut all that in.
We're keeping on the theme of the front page of the new Victory with Ash website.
Okay.
And trying to break it down a little bit.
Fair, Chris. That makes sense. That the retirement is the prize at the end, often.
Bring something else to the table that might help you with your own business and even make you think a little bit about.
And that's why it works out so well. We got to stop doing that to ourselves, you know? We got to stop being okay with putting up with being treated badly if we get a prize at the end. Can we just, as a society, just not do that anymore? We shouldn't be okay with putting up with shit in a workplace and having a shitty job as long as the retirement is good. There should also be things in place to make the job better or something, you know? Because that's what part of the issue is here, is that these people are willing to wait. They're willing to wait for as long as it takes because in their mind, they're all about to be millionaires. And that's the whole issue with these things, right? They're dangling that shiny object. There is a reason the term going postal exists. Did Red mention that there's nothing new with the company? He always does, doesn't he?
How to navigate and also how to improve yourself for the impending release of Victory with Ash and also the
very big pending. Key word there is probably pending.
The next business that he will be bringing to us. So part of that very first page was Victory with Ash is a private memberships community. We talked about the importance of an exclusivity of membership within a company, built for individuals committed to real personal and professional growth through skill development. We talked about this as well, didn't we? Skill development the other day. Mentorship and structured, focused environment. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of mentorship in business and why mentorship really does make a huge difference to you within your business. So let's get going then for some more bits and pieces to try and help you on your way to improve yourself for your online business. So mentorship in business is crucial for accelerating growth fostering leadership and increasing employee retention. It provides tailored guidance, expands networks, and boosts confidence, with a 75% of professionals noting its key role in career success. How important is that? That 75% of...
Wait, how is important is that? Jesus, what's with you today, Red? Are you okay? Looking a little rough.
Of successful people in business point that mentorship is a really important point to their business. In fact, if you remember from the last time that we saw our CEO Ash Mufareh, he actually mentioned that he has a mentor as well, somebody that helps him in his business. It is something that is vitally important for everybody at every level. Mentoring businesses often see higher revenues, enhanced productivity, and improved decision making. Makes sense, doesn't it? If you are using a mentor, then you are much more likely to see more success in your business than those who are not, to the tune of nearly 75% difference from people who use mentors and people who don't. So it stands to reason, and it makes sense, that we all should have some sort of mentor that we can look to for growing our skills.
Right? Do you really need a mentor over here? I need to know who Ash's mentor is. Chris says, I wish Jane was talking on her phone, talking to a friend and saying, yeah, Red is over there doing his daily bullshit. Talking about that damn company again. That Ash Mufareh guy owes us 20 grand. Yeah, stupid jerk.
So what are some of the key benefits of mentorship include? And they are accelerating growth and skill development. Mentors provide personalized feedback and guidance based on experience, helping to identify skill gaps and accelerate professional growth. Why does a mentor help do that? Because normally mentors are people...
I love it when Red asks his question and then answers it right after himself.
People who have real life experiences in the field that you are going into.
Yeah, what real life experience? I mean, come on.
They can draw on their own experiences of what happened and at the very least stop you making mistakes that they have made along the way. They will also be able to fine-tune your skill set for the benefit of your business.
Themselves.
All businesses are different. So why not hone your business skills specific to the business that you are going to be doing? That is where a mentor comes into its own so much, because they can really narrow that skill set down that you need for your business so that it's a
what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
lot easier to learn.
I know what he's trying to say, all right, but just for some reason, the way that Red is going about this, it's like the most roundabout way to word this.
And inevitably make you more profitable and a better business person. Networking and opportunities. Mentors often access offer access, to established professional networks, opening doors for partnerships and new business opportunities. Again, mentors tend to be people who have been in the industry for a fair amount of time.
So why is Ash Mufareh your mentor when he has only failed in the industry for a very long time? I mean, unless he's mentoring you on what not to do, then it just makes no sense. Lord.
They have a lot of contacts, and you being their prodigy or being the person they are mentoring then helps to open up that door for you to collaborate, for you to learn more, or even ask questions of various types to other people within your own field. Again, makes sense. Enhanced decision making and strategy. Mentors help leaders avoid past pitfalls, providing an objective perspective that improves business strategy and operational efficiency. Bit like your dad saying, don't touch that, it's hot. A lot of people still touch it, don't they? Just to make sure it's hot. A mentor will help guide you through the labyrinth of business and say, don't do that. You don't need to go down that route.
Yeah. Ash could say, listen, don't steal $108 million from 800,000 people and not give them anything. Tell them to join you in a new platform and then take off on them. Oh no, wait. He's not here.
That is not going to be efficient or profitable for you. So you can learn from your mentor of the right path to take and the right skill set that you need to learn to be as successful as possible within your own business. Increase confidence and support. Mentorship boosts confidence and resilience, empowering entrepreneurs and
Red, why can you not talk on this day? What happened? Were you drunk? What was going on here?
Employees to take on challenges.
Lord!
Why does that work? Because you've got a person who is in the background looking after you. It's a bit like if you're at the gym,
okay.
If you have a personal trainer at the gym, okay, you will see more gains for your time spent in a gym if you have a personal trainer. Why? Because
I mean, this is a better example than the last one that you gave. I was kind of like, I wouldn't have used that example. Wasn't the best, but okay. I mean, at least this one makes more sense, a bit more positive.
Because they will push you further than you would do on your own, but they are also more knowledgeable in what exercises to do to get to your desired shape, strength, weight, etc.
Yeah, but Ash Mufareh is not a millionaire or a billionaire who was successful in business that can now give you knowledge, has connections. If he had the right connections, don't you think he would have launched OConnect like during COVID? Obviously, something went terribly wrong there, like that's the difference, Red. All right, the mentor you're choosing is the wrong one. If you choose the wrong mentor, you don't get any of the benefits of having a mentor.
Mentors in business are exactly the same. You are looking to them for direction of how you should be going or what you should be doing. This helps to build your confidence in your business because you know that you have got somebody who is there who can give you the right advice moving forward in your business. This adds to your confidence. It adds to your not bravado, but certainly to your resilience as well as confidence.
Yeah, but then Ash would actually have to be here. See, like, in order for him to be my mentor, he has to be present. See how it works?
to be able to take on challenges, because you know that you can really step up to a mark that before you would probably think is out of reach for you. But having that mentor means that you can rely on this person to give you the right advice for those challenges ahead. It is also strengthens corporate culture. Mentoring programs often notes that within the Institute of Directors, increased job satisfaction. It also improves employer retention and fosters an inclusive, collaborative, and diverse environment. This is again,
which just goes to show that Ash isn't even the leader, because Ash isn't involved in their Telegram groups and in their group chats. That's the funniest part about this. Ash isn't like a part of their family in the way that they all are a community. You know what I mean? It's very different in that sense. They keep this going, and they created a community despite him and despite his absence, which is why this thing is still going, even with him not around. Like I said, they created a monster. Right? Come on, Red. ChatGPT already did all the work. You just gotta read it. I know. I'm like, what is going on with him today? Like, he okay? You good?
Part of that feeling that there is somebody there who can help you. Your mentor helps you. Many times in businesses, you will always hear the person saying, my mentor, the person that helped me, has helped me to get to this stage. And if successful people are saying that they have mentors, why wouldn't we want to? I firmly believe that Victory with Ash will have that element to it. I firmly believe that we will all individually have our own, not personal mentor, but certainly people within Victory with Ash who know the industry, who that we can call on to an extent for them to give us their knowledge of what to expect, so that we can hone our skill set for moving forward. Mentorship.
Yeah, you got it. All right, that's enough out of you, Red. That's enough about mentorship. Thank you so much. But are you okay? Like, seriously, are you okay? I got a little worried. While watching that, you know. I was like, oh, Lord. So something's going on with Red. That's just not normal of you. You usually at least know how to read. I mean, your name is one letter away from the word. Can you not get it together for a day? All right, guys. Well, that's the end. We have made it to the end. And now I had a busy week, so I'm really sorry. I did not have time to put together a special slideshow for this. But I hope that right now you will get really comfy. You know, grab your favorite beverage, a blanket, a pillow, your stuffy, whatever you need. Get really comfy, and I'm just going to tell you a wonderful story. Do you smell toast, Red? Yes, if you smell toast, then it's a bad sign. I would know. That was Dr. Penningfield. Yep. And my mom was actually in neuroscience, and she studied under his best student at McGill University. So that's what she worked on, was seizures, because my mom had juvenile epilepsy. So she went and did that. Just something about me. You're comfy? All right, good. All right, so without further ado,
Story time from Victory with Ash.
And then it's just me. Once upon a time, in a bright and bustling little village called Victory with Ash, everyone waited for a mentor, or mentor, who was said to be arriving any day now. The villagers prepared for him the way children prepare for spring, sweeping their porches, polishing their hopes, and whispering to one another that March would be that month. After all, it was March Madness, and what better time for a wise guide to appear and show them the way? So they waited, and waited, and waited a little more. Days drifted by like dandelion seeds. The sun rose, the moon yawned, and still the mentor did not come. Some villagers peered down the road each morning. Others checked the sky, just in case he preferred dramatic entrances. But the road stayed empty, full of dust, and the sky stayed quiet. Eventually, a curious thing happened. In the hush between one hopeful day and the next, the villagers began to talk to one another. Really talk. They shared stories, traded ideas, encouraged each other, and discovered that their own voices were steadier than they remembered. And slowly, gently, they realized something almost magical. That they had been guiding themselves all along. The mentor they were waiting for had never been a single person on a distant road or up in the sky. It was the courage they found in each other, the laughter of friends who refused to give up, the warmth of loved ones who showed up even when no leader did. And if anyone ever needed a little extra spark, well, best friends make excellent hype folk. So do husbands and wives. They cheer loudly, they believe fiercely, and they never forget to remind you that you're capable of far more than you think. So the village settled eventually into a peaceful truth. They didn't need a mentor to arrive. They only needed each other and the quiet confidence that they could walk their own path together. And with that, the village they slept soundly at last, and they lived happily ever after.
A story time from Victory with Ash.
So I hope that you enjoyed that. That was fun. We learned about mentors. We learned that it's March Madness, even though it's almost over. And we learned that even if Ash doesn't show up, the cult will still continue, as cults often do. As they often do when the leader disappears. There are many cults out there that have continued, despite leaders going to prison, passing away, or etc. Just fucking off, just being like, fuck these guys. And going, and some of them even went and started a new cult, Unfortunately, you kind of keep yourself there after a while, as we've spoken about. That is the beast that coercive control is. And that is why we got to come here as often as we can. I try to come here several times a week so that we can speak out about it. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy FriYAY to my sayers of nay. I hope that all of you have a wonderful, amazing, amazing weekend. Sometime over the weekend, I'm hoping for Saturday. But honestly, at this point, I don't want to promise anything just in case. I don't know. The weekend could go crazy too. Who knows what this March break is holding for us anymore. Sometime this weekend, there will be an amazing premiere of a BG Wealth video. So I hope that you come and hang out with me for that. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday for MLM Monday. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, a good weekend. Like always, we are going to do a little sing-off with everybody's favorite song. And if you guys want to come hang out, make sure that you think about joining our fabulous, amazing members. All of the beautiful people do. And also, you can come and you can send me stuff. Like if you want to make memes of On Passive, Victory with Ash people, and you want me to get them, it's a great place to be in the Discord where you can just, send them to me. Or you can email them to me as well. But think of joining our members, and I will see you all really soon. I love all of your faces. We're in it to win it. Woo!
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. It breaks my heart.
Thank you,
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or spying, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was Screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the questions on religion. I think we've answered that over and over again. I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want. Yeah. Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy Nerd talking about your experiences. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
And I'm your friend.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend.
Have a good weekend, everybody!
My name is Ash Mufara.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.